It's the time you burn show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vibe. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand down in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. In a step it all renews. It's the time you burn show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vibe. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight.
Okay, listen, we may have a couple of technical issues today, but we are going to work through it. So, Jonathan, are you on here? You have to come in. So, I'm working with two producers. This show is going to be tonight. It's going to be done by Jonathan. Jonathan, are you on here? And so we're going to work through some things, y'all. Jonathan. And actually, both of them names are Jonathan. So listen, do me a favor. Drop in the chat where you are from. And I'm going to have to, I don't know what, we're working through some things. So drop in the chat. If y'all can hear me, do me a favor. Put a number 1 up. Put a number 1 up if you can hear me. Look, and folks just dropping in there. Look at that. Okay. Oh, y'all can hear me. Hey, y'all. It's been a minute. Listen, I gotta see if I can get Jonathan. I don't know where Jonathan is because I know he's behind backstage. So I'm gonna be in and I'm not gonna be out. I'm in, of course. But then, of course, I was, it's been a lot going on, y'all. So some of the things we're going to talk about, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I did get some rest. I did rest. What I did not do is find a place for all these shoes in my living room. Listen, because I was still busy. So it's been good. I could have used some more time. So we got Memphis in the house, North Carolina. We got LA, Columbia, South Carolina. Look, let me find Jonathan. Where is he? I'm here. Okay, I can't hear you. So, Jonathan, can you pop? Thank you. Jonathan, I need you on the screen. Jonathan's a little shy.
You want me to show myself?
You don't have to show yourself. You're probably not showing yourself. No. I want them to hear you. So,
hi.
So I have worked with some amazing people doing my shows, and Jonathan is actually here in Flint. As everyone knows, producer Jay was in Atlanta, and him and I are still friends. And matter of fact, if something happened, he's up like he called me the other day. after the meeting, like, was it 2 something? I said, do you realize it's 2 o'clock? Tanya Burns, you probably are. So I will be doing things locally and even doing some interviews in the studio. So I am making some changes to better serve all of you, everybody that is here. And I needed the rest. Y'all, Flint is a lot. And literally up until this time, I was still getting information because, they're watching my water usage. I didn't figure out what's going on. I did. So, and it's amazing. They keep trying to catch me slipping. Nope, y'all not going to do that one. Sorry. Not going to happen. As a matter of fact, I got leaves in my backyard that they can come and rake those up so I don't have to pay the yard guy. Because when they said when I was cutting the grass, but I can cut grass, y'all. But it was some people in my family and some friends telling me were you cutting the grass while you were on the phone? Because it looked like crop circles. So I don't cut the grass no more. A person who cuts my grass is really a great person. Ronnie cuts my grass now because I don't have time. I just don't have time. I do not. And it is what it is. But we're going to get into a lot of things. So Jonathan, put your picture because people want to know what you look like. Put the picture up. And then we're going to get into now the new intro as soon as he gets this picture put up. And I hope he didn't, because we talked about it. So Jonathan, put your picture up because they need to know who you are. So Jonathan goes to St. Mark Baptist Church. He is a member there. He is a member. Y'all click like, share, and subscribe because we ain't been here in a minute. So this is Jonathan. He goes to St. Mark's Church. Yes, y'all, he is a white guy, a white young man, but he is a wonderful person. Like, ain't St. Mark black? No, St. Mark take everybody. It's for the love of the Lord, okay? So he goes to St. Mark Church, and he does wonderful work. And he's young. He's working on establishing his own company, and I believe in bringing in the youth, and he is the youth. And so I am working with him, and we're going to be working to get some things together. So when I say to donate to please to Eaton Media, this is him. This is Jonathan Eaton, and he will be helping me to produce shows, and I'll be doing shows on the road, not run on the road and in the studio because he has a studio. So this will allow me to do a lot more with social media, and so I'm happy to have him. Because some days, y'all know it'd be like, how do you explain that show, Tanya? What happened? What happened with this? Because y'all know we want to get on here and talk about it. We want to go here and talk about it. So he is a young man trying to put himself through school and to learn all of this. And every dime of the money goes to, again, not to Tanya Burns. It goes to Jonathan at $J Eaton Media. I don't take any money for this. I do not. I pay for my own StreamYard and other things. I do that myself. I do not take a penny, not even a dime or a penny. So listen, so when you see this sign, look, my colors. All right, go Jonathan. So we put it to please kindly donate to Cash App, $J Eaton Media. I need y'all to support him because, sometimes I have a terrible schedule. And, when he comes on, and it was even with producer Jay and Mickey, be like, she on there doing them 2-3 hour shows and, on a Saturday. I think my longest show with producer Jay was 6 hours. Okay. But we've been trying to narrow that down, but it'd be a lot to talk about. And we have an election year coming up. Matter of fact, we got an election on Tuesday. We have an election. So I want to send a shout out also to, did y'all see that new intro? I had nothing to do with that. I just seen it today. So I want to say to Sheena Beckton, she did the intro and the outro with the little spinning of the album. And Sheena Beckton is also one of the moderators. So I appreciate her for her beautiful work that she did. I was like, oh, girl, you did that. And then also to Patrick Jean. Patrick Jean is another moderator. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hit that like button so we can y'all hit the like button. It's free. And look, and even to the people who don't really like us, y'all hit that like button too. Because I'm going to tell y'all what's going on with the water system. It's not my job to do it, but I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. So listen, to each and every person that's on here, let me let you know, I have missed y'all. I have missed everybody. I've missed y'all. I needed some rest. I have now learned that Tylenol comes in 8 hours. You get 8-hour release. And so therefore, life has been good the past couple days because I have a sciatic, a left and a right. And I have missed y'all. I honestly have. So I was away in the Swiss Alps in my chalet. Now, y'all know I'm in my chalet because folks didn't know what a chalet was when they wanted money for chalets. They didn't even know how to pronounce it. They were pronouncing it chalet. I'm like, what is a chalet? That's not a chalet. Like it's in the Swiss Alps. Like, we're going skiing. It's a chalet. So I was away at my chalet. Anyways, so hit that like button. We are going to get started for my new producer. I guess he's gonna be producer Jay too. Producer Jay and Sheena and Patrick Jean. So listen, can we do me a favor? I cannot go all the way back up, but Jonathan, can we run through because I could not see? Can we put everybody's name up on the screen? Let's run through that just real quick. That may take us because I want to see everybody's name. I can never keep up. And I don't want nobody to judge me because your girl got to get her nails done. I popped 2 of them washing dishes. So I ain't going. Y'all know I just love saying that. I love saying that. Then we have got, you can move them quickly. I don't know how quick. Avis Hawkins. Hey. Sheena B. We already know Sheena B did that lovely intro. We got Patrick Jane. All right. Who else we got? Andre Holland. He going through them, y'all. And so we're going to be with Sandy. Sandy, how are you? And sending hearts out to you and your family. Sandy lost her son, KP, a short while ago. And hearts and prayers are still with her as her family, goes through that process. So I need to probably go through my devices and go over all of this. Hey, for the super stickers, everybody. Thank you for the super stickers. Thank you. Christine Chandler. Hey. St. Mark Baptist Church of Flint. Jonathan, that's your church. So listen to each and everybody that is on here. Look, I'm going to try to scroll back down so I can holler. Patrick Jean's on there. I go all the way up to the top. Oh, y'all. So listen. Because y'all went. Okay, here we go. Oh, Jonathan Ernest, my heart goes out to you too, to VIP Flint Caskets. He lost his wife and he laid her to rest this past weekend. My heart goes out to you and your family and your time of bereavement. We also have Sydney Green. Why is this? Sydney Green, Avis Hopkins. We got JP6, Denise Cousins, Sandy Odell, Gutter Black. I like saying that. We got Avis Hopkins, Kathleen Troush, and Michelle Young. We got Leah McNeely, Sweetheart Shell, Christine Chandler, Tia Austin. We have got Hold on. Andre Holland. Yeah, that's when y'all doing. Rhonda Atkins. Ashley Cunningham. Tasha Lynn. Kitrin Buford. If I didn't somebody's actually John Doe. Okay, Rhonda Atkins. Detroit Boy. LJ Butler. Debbie Clark. Lydia McNeely. Mr. LC2U. Felicia Martinez. LJ Butler. Yvette Bailey. Auntie M. Eddie Gray. Frankie's Girl, Martha Thomas, Tania Walker. I'm trying to go down. And here we is, because y'all know I was Connie is in here. And here we is again. Okay, I'm trying to get down. Ashley Cunningham, thank you for the $5 super sticker. Thank you. Oh, and thank you, Maria. Hey, Maria, you had no problem getting in, girl, did you? And here we is. LJ Butler, I'm trying to go down, y'all. Now, just for the record, y'all know that the internet over here has always been trashy. It's just terrible. And y'all will understand when I'm saying that. Bishop T. Priestley, Elizabeth Anderson. Okay, I'm almost. Hollywood Herb 256. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So we're going to get into a couple of things. We're going to talk about why they monitor my water. Listen, can they monitor some other things that they should be doing? But look, I'm okay. Me and Councilman Leon L. Alameen are on the same street. On Wednesday mornings, I need him to start bringing in my trash can for me since we're on the same street. Bring that 96-gallon trash can. I would appreciate him for doing that. So he is tethered to a same house on the same street as me. That is a fact. Okay. Because two tethered people can't stay in the same house together. But we're going to get into that too. We're going to get into that. So let's start with the Color of Law Coalition, which is a wonderful group of women. And this wonderful group of winning, why is he sending me this? This wonderful group of women came up with an idea, and I'm going to send it. And I didn't send you this. You're going to be kind of mad at me, but Jonathan, we might as well break in. Why we get last minute pictures? You're going to be like, you didn't send that one to me. Now, he is shy, y'all, so show him some love that we are family here. I did not send this one to you. So the Color of Law Coalition is a group of women who are very vocal, who get together to do things for the community. And so the color of law, if a lot of people don't understand, we came together. We don't have a lot of members, actually, because it's women who, it's not like we're not trying to have people, but it's hard when you want to do something good for the community. And so it's a group of women, and they come. These are some battle-tested women, battle-tested. They have been through it. So the color of law, so people understand what the name called. The color of law refers to actions that appear to be authorized by law, but are actually a violation of people's rights. That are actually a violation of people's rights. Often when a government official abuses the power. It can also refer to The Color of Law, which is a book that argues that the U.S. housing segregation, gives examples. So when people are abusing the law, underneath the color of law, there are protections. And so the name of the group is the Color of Law Coalition, to do good things. One, we did for St. Mark's Church, for their benefit, they had us serving food. Beverly did do the cooking. She did all the cooking. Y'all, and I'm going to tell you, I don't eat everybody's dressing. I just don't. But Beverly Biggs Levy dressing is really good. I should have took home a pan or half of the pan. It was really good, seriously. And I appreciate her cooking. She is a wonderful cook. And it was good. So the women, and I didn't send you this, Jonathan, so I'm going to send you the picture if you could put it up. And I didn't do it earlier. So when you get the picture, just put it up. You can just put it, you don't have to let me know. So the color of law, these women are Debbie and Diane Thornton. They are twins. Beverly Biggs Levy, Tanya Jones, Taylor Sampson, Shantae Murchison. Am I missing anybody? I don't think that I am. JP. So the color of law women, they're really some thoughtful women. So what they have been doing, so we were at our last meeting. It's the one before this. Well, we had one this week, but I had to leave because I had something unexpected. Yep, thanks. So here are the color of law women. These are some of the ladies. We don't have Taylor in here. Taylor isn't in here. And one of the things they do is help, and follow what's going on. Each of these ladies, you'll see at council almost every meeting. So starting on, I believe, to your left is going to be Beverly Biggs Levy. If you don't know who she is, she's not the tallest person there. The next one is Tanya Jones. Tanya Jones has been advocating for her son because he has autism and because he also has a drug addiction that she speaks of, that she's his advocate. She speaks out about the opioid money and funds every meeting we have. Then you have Shantae Murchison. She's also in our group. Then you have me in the middle too. Then you have Debbie and Diane Thornton. Well, they both hate Thorntons. Debbie and Diane, the twins. So what they have been doing, so at our last meeting, they're talking about how can we help the community? And it started off with, let's do I think it was a blanket drive. And then we talked about it and we said, well, let's do something that what can people really need? What do they need? Well, Tanya's son has, she always talk about the Narcan. And Narcan, y'all, I didn't know how to use it. I did not. And I'm thankful to Sheba Ward, City of Flint's public health official, who came to my meeting and showed us how to do the Narcan and then gave Narcan. So in this, they decided, well, let's do, backpacks. And so the ladies, if we can play the video, this is going to be the video. But Tanya Jones put like some clips together when the ladies were putting together and they started taking donations. I forget how many backpacks so far that they've gotten, but packing the backpacks, we're able to even give the homeless some sleeping bags, and packing the backpacks with essentials, Narcan, for those, because some people have drug addictions, and the homelessness you often see in that population, giving toothbrushes, toothpaste, snacks, socks, gloves, little blankets. And so 45, look, see, they on it. They have packed 45. When I said, oh, Reed Johnson, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. And so the ladies were been packing. So can you put the video up for me, please? Look, producer Jack. I don't have to change the name. So thank you, Reed Johnson. So thank you. So Tanya made a video. So the items that are collected, they have 50 bags so far have been packed, and there will be more. And so in these bags, they're items which you could see, snacks, toothbrushes, toothpaste, socks, other essential things that people will need. And so, and this is what community is about. This is what community is about. So I do want to say, we may have to, I didn't know Tanya had music to that. The music was really nice. We may have to go back to take the music out. Make a note of that later for me, producer Jonathan, if you can make a note about that. So this is the color law, because YouTube will get you for a song. They will get you. So there's been so many things that are going on, but shout out to these women who are wonderful women who really care. They know what's going on. They care about people, about good government, good policy. And if you're trying to do something, this is a group of women that you would want behind you, because they don't just say, I want change. They are about change. And so salute to them with the packing of the backpacks. I couldn't be with a better group of women. If you would like to join and live in the Flint area, submit your name and we will see. We've decided to go through a panel process, because some people will join a group and don't want to do nothing. This group is not about that. So when it's time, if you want to submit to me, submit your name, and then they do like a panel interview because they're about the work. They're about the work. So, but this was that was a beautiful video. So hey, Javar Ellis, Marcia Tolbert, and if anyone else I haven't seen, so I need to share this. So we're gonna go on to the next thing. So I had the pleasure of meeting and speaking with he goes by Abdul, but it's Dr. Abdul El Sayed, who is now running for Senator Gary Peters' seat, which is a 6-year term. He had a meet and greet this week, and I was not able to make it to the meet and greet. So he did meet with me, Taylor, and Pastor Thompson beforehand. And one thing for me, I don't just, that's Hasselbrink. If I get the other one with the 4 of us, please. One thing I do believe is that we have to educate and share. So if I have good news, I'm going to share with other people. So he did call me. I met with him, and I invited Pastor Thompson of St. Mark, and I invited Taylor, because you have to educate yourself on what are the concerns when people are running. What have they done? What is their background? He is a medical doctor. He's running for a seat, which is a 6-term seat, and it's entire Michigan. In this seat now is Gary Peters. He will not be running again. So actually, this is right before the backpacking. This day, my complete day was thrown out of line by this. He wanted to meet before his meeting with the meet and greet that he had with the mayor. And so him and I met him beforehand, and he is a pleasant guy. I always tell people to do and educate yourself on what's going on, because you need to know who's voting for you. So many times we get people who say, I'm going to fight for you. I'm running on truth and transparency. And all they do is lie and deceive. We know that when they say, look, I'm running. Y'all know I got my crime. Look, this was literally my campaign shirt, y'all. I'm gonna bend my screen down. This is my campaign shirt. Crime and blight burns me up. This is what I ran on, and I'm still doing this today. So this is my campaign shirt, and don't judge me. I did not iron it, okay? I did not, okay? But this is my campaign shirt that I wore, and this is it. And this is what I ran on, and I still believe in this, because crime and blight, I did not change. I stayed the course, and I'm still fighting for these issues in our community. And so I didn't change. I believe in what I say, and I believe in a better Flint. I honestly do, with the right leadership. And so, but you'll get people who will state, I'm going to do this. And a lot of it goes down the drain. So some of the questions I asked him, first of all, I let him know, what is it that Flint is missing? These are the things that we have: a food desert. We got more than that now with SNAP benefit problems. We have a housing crisis. People have housing insecurities, food insecurities. We have had 10 children shot in the city of Flint last year, 6 fatal. That should never happen. So anybody running, if they're not addressing the gun violence on children, should not be elected to be dog catcher. And I mean that. I don't know any other city in Michigan where 10 children were shot, some gunned down while sleeping in the comfort of their homes, where they should be protected. 10. 6 were fatal. 6. That is enough to unseat somebody. Mayor Sheldon Neely should be shamed. Those are underneath his statistics, underneath his tenure, and he has not uttered a word. We had 22 shootings over a weekend, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. 5 people were shot. No, I'm sorry, 3 people were shot. No, 2 were shot on Friday. 17 on Tuesday, 3 on Monday. 22 people were shot in Flint's most deadly gun violence weekend ever. 22 people. 22 people. We're just now getting a comprehensive opioid plan. And y'all know I talked about that. I need to send you that video too, because we now have one thanks to Greater Flint Coalition. Because when I asked about an opioid plan, y'all know how that went. You know how it went. But here we have, these are the issues that I talked to Abdul for senator for 2026. These are some of the things I talked about. And the gun violence. That's what's killing our kids. Gun and gang violence. And so he has common sense. He has a common sense approach. So the common sense of basically how do we, and when you bring back values, we have to be involved with the schools. These are things that don't change. These are issues that in our community, for him, for Abdul, it was common sense. So I encourage everyone, go to his website and look at what he states. What is his platform? What is he running on? Because in 6 years or 5 years, if he wins, he comes back, then we need to ask him, you ran on that. Thank you, Diane, for the super sticker. Thank you. Did you live up to what you stated you were going to run on? We have, that's how you should ask him. I don't know if did I send that one back to you, Jonathan? Yeah, he's very shy. I may have not have sent this to you. Huh. That was going to be on me. Because it's on the page. And so one of the things, like I said, we're getting back to Abdul, and I when I meet with people, because I'm not asking them for campaign donations, I'm able to talk to them about how I really feel and what is it that I feel that the community needs. And people don't know about some of the things, that go on in Flint. Hold on. Because it goes untalked about. And because it goes untalked about, it never gets addressed. You don't hear anybody saying, oh my God, Flint, all those shootings. So let me go back on here. So y'all bear with us. Okay, so common sense priorities for our future. So underneath his common sense priorities, common sense for me is, listen, we have a gang violence issue. We have children being shot in the streets and in their bed. Gun violence and gunshots has become our norm. It is normal. No one jumps when you hear a gunshot. You usually pause to figure out which, is it going north, south, east, or west? And then the next thing that you do is decide, you're waiting to see if you hear an ambulance coming, because then that lets you know it hit someone. So what is common sense priorities for our future? Abdul's fighting for an economy that works for everyone, health care for all, affordable housing, quality education, clean air and water, and sensible foreign policy. Explore the priorities for a fairer future. So he's looking out for everyone, the small guy. When we look at who got, people who with SNAP benefits, 41 million people, lost their SNAP benefits. I believe they were supposed to start loading them the first. They haven't gotten them. They had to take it to court. And so he's looking out for everyone. Now, we know about water. Water is something that's serious, because we know that Flint had the water crisis, where people decided not to treat the water, and then for 18 months allowed people in the entire city and businesses and people who worked in the city to drink the water without informing them that the water had not been treated. Many people died. The lawsuit has not been paid out. The fixtures many people still have in their home, which are corroding. We had Mr. Roy who was there, and we asked Mr. Roy for Mr. Roy to finally have it tested. We were supposed to get it tested before. We still have people coming to city council with bags with filters with black mold, and it should have been tested. Nothing has happened. Then we said, no, we got more in that block. Judy Priestley says, well, let's just go with the first ones and we'll just test those. No, we test them all. So she didn't want to have the parameter done. But every time I say something, Judy says, no. Judy, tell us how you pay cash for that kitchen. Tell us, because Attorney Kim said you did. Yeah, you heard him say you paid cash. Tell us how you paid cash for that kitchen after we voted on Ashley Capital. Help me out with that. That's what you do. So when we talk about the people, a lot of elected officials forget about the people. Thank you, Marcia Tober, for the super sticker. Thank you. And so when we talk, thank you. And so when we talk about people, what are some of the things that he's done? He goes by Abdul, but he is a medical doctor. He's worked with children and disparities and other great things. And so what I always say to people is, you need to make sure you ask what you ran on. Did you run on it just to get elected and stop? Or did you run on it and keep the pace up to bring awareness and fight for it? Did you stop the fight? And so I will be holding him to this. So I will honestly say it was a great meeting. I'm looking forward to having a forum to invite the public to meet him, because we need to hear people. And everyone doesn't have to look alike. That's what makes America great. Different people with different shades of colors, and who cares? And he came across to me. It's my first time meeting him in person. Taylor had supported him for governor. She has supported him for governor. So the meeting with him was great. He did have another meeting. It was actually his function he had to go to. And I'm like, well, hey, you got to go. I don't want you to be late, because y'all know your girl can talk. We did a 6-hour show before, almost 6 hours. So take your time if you're in the state of Michigan and share his material. Go to his website, Abdul for Senate 2026. It is Abdul El Sayed, EL-SAYED. Go to his website, educate yourself. And let me tell you this, it is the people. If you have SNAP benefits, everybody in Michigan, you need to be voting for him. If you receive SNAP benefits, you need somebody who cares for this community. Stop voting in people who don't care about you. What did they do at the White House? I was talking with someone earlier. They were talking about President Trump. He remodeled the Lincoln bathroom and the era that it was in, and indoor plumbing. And in the early 1900s, the only people who had indoor plumbing in the late 1800s were the Victorians, who were very rich and well-to-do. That was it. But President Trump, while people have lost their SNAP benefits, remodeled the Lincoln bathroom, did it in all white marble, beautiful marble, and then had a Great Gatsby party. Okay, Great Gatsby. So he's living his best life. So you be careful who you vote for. And if a person's not speaking and talking about the issues, the real issues that keep you up, do not vote. Stop giving away your power in your vote. Stop it. Stop giving away the power or the power of your vote. Don't do it. We got to do better. And I'm going to keep talking, because voting matters. Voting matters. It matters. So we're going to go on to the next. So check out Abdul for Senate 2026. He's running to against Gary Peters. So he's taking the seat that will be left vacant. So we're going to go to 810 Flint. Shout out to Xavier. Xavier does a lot of the shorts that he does a good job on. But Xavier, if you're watching, we got to talk about some of the pictures. You keep putting me in my little beige coat. We're going to have to send you some stock photos or something, because I got more than one outfit. Xavier lives in California. He's a USC graduate, and he has 810 Flint, which is a news media journal, and I think Substack. And he does a great story of writing and also keeping a video library. So I use a lot of his material because it's great and it's factual. And I appreciate that. And I encourage younger people when they do that to support that. I do. I support that. Um, so he did one, which was council goals off rails. And y'all know it's been some stuff up in there lately. So we're going to start with this first video. See if it posts on Friday on Saturday. May they replayed the video and had an interpreter on it. They're listening. That's right. All right, Denise, because I saw y'all was lighting in on that not having that. Okay. Because Sarah Houston deserves to be heard. So look, this one is pretty long, but we're not going to do the full one. So thank you to 810 Flint Xavier, and I'll tell you when to stop it.
We have an objection. So we are looking to add resolution for an independent investigation by the Michigan State Police concerning the resident status of council members. And so we will, Madam Clerk, question, do we usually discuss the add-ons? It's been a minute. Did we discuss these? The adding on, or do we go straight to the vote?
Normally, you do not hold a vote for an add-on, you just add it on. So I would imagine that you would have to discuss it if it's added on, but normally you do not have a roll call for add-ons.
Okay. All right, so we have an objection, so we can't add it, so we clearly must have a vote if we wanted to add it on, right?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Mr. Piper.
I make a motion to add on number 1 to the agenda.
Okay.
Support.
All right, it has been moved and properly supported by the councilwoman in the 6th Ward. Any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Ms. Barnes.
So I believe in transparency, and I believe we should be transparent because I know there have been concerns and over the years that people have wondered where certain people live, including myself. So myself is added to that. And I just wanted to be very clear because I have nothing to hide. I live where I live. I stay where I stay. There were statements made that I don't last council meeting. And so I am willingly put myself in it because I am not, I should be held to the same standard. I live where I live. So I am willing to put my name in it to be voluntarily investigated because I have no problem with that. I have no problem with it. And while they're here, if they can, they're investigating, if they can help me find out where to put the 60 pair of shoes that's in my living room, because I'm a rather busy person. So this is important so that we can move forward. People make allegations about where people live. I live where I live. I have no reason to hide it or to lie about it. So that is my one reason. The other concern is mine is because I do know that we have a councilman, he's tethered to the same street that I'm on, which is Berkeley. So I am concerned about that. I do also know that the address that he lives at, that's on where he was to be elected, there is a registered sex offender that lives there and has complied since 2023 with a lease. So these are things that we need to discuss. And I have no problem having an independent investigation at all, because I know that if I have to live in my ward, which is why I ran, then we all should. That is part of the charter, that we live where we live. And I do know that when you have a person who is a registered sex offender, who is on tether, you cannot have two people tethered to the same address. And it is. And you cannot have that. And not just that, the parole board in Lansing has stated that the person has complied and that there are no children. And she is registered every month. And to put her in jeopardy by using that address is a problem. I was asked in 2019, actually by the mayor, to run for, I think it was state rep then, it was against Cherry. And I told him, I don't live there. I wasn't running in, I was working for the city. And so when we hold each other to these standards, when people try to say this, if you have nothing to hide, then it should be a yes vote. And that's just where I stand. I live where I live. And I think we all, it is coming to question that we need to clear it out, and not with our department. We need to have an independent agency to do that. I know he is tethered to the same street that I'm on. I've seen him before I've turned on, he's turned off of my street. I know he filed a PPO on me and said I am a known cocaine and known alcoholic.
Excuse me, Miss Burns, let's go ahead and keep it
So
relevant.
this
Thank
is-
you.
Yeah, well, this is why we need to make sure when they make these allegations that I don't live where I live, we need to make sure that people are putting the truth out here and to become familiar and comfortable with the truth out here. And so that is what I will be doing. So I have no problem with myself, at all. And so that's why I did not omit myself, although his residency has been brought into question, but I included myself too. So I yield the floor.
All right, thank you. Anyone else like to speak in the first round?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Ms. Machado.
So once again, political games, because there's no reason for my name to be on here other than someone is upset that people had something to say about where they lived. This is basically, and even though it's already public record, this is doxing in the sense that I just want to draw attention to you, where you live, and try and be funny. I don't understand why there's an obsession with harming people or putting people in harm's way or endangering people. But that seems to be a theme that keeps happening on this council. I have no reason to lie about where I live. My residency has never been in question. I'm on here simply as a byproduct of someone trying to be funny. I'm upset for the same reason you would be upset. Of somebody drawing attention to your address.
Excuse me, can I bring you to order, Councilman Machado? And as well as the person who spoke out, I didn't see you. Ma'am, no one's talking to you, please. And
that was not you. It was not you. I know exactly who it was. It was not you. Okay, go ahead and give her a warning since she want to take somebody else's. Tanya Jones is saying it was her, but it wasn't, but she wants the warning.
Oh, that's fine. So thank you, Ms. Jones. That's your warning. Now proceed, Mrs. Machado.
Again, it's all a political pageantry. It's all a game every single solitary time. There's never at any point in time a wish to be professional, a wish to be courteous, or a wish to, at the very least, be humane and not try to endanger or ruin someone else's life. Like, it's old and it's tired and it's sad. Because when the second ward councilwoman's life was in danger, everybody made jokes. But then when the sixth ward councilwoman's life was in danger, all of a sudden she needed a police escort. It just keeps being game after game after game. Sitting up here trying to do my job, doing my best to be cordial and get along with everyone. But when you start playing games with my life and my personal safety, it becomes a whole other thing. And we both know that that person likes to play games with people's personal safety because she pulls people up to people's homes on live. And so this is just her once again trying to send people to other people's houses and play games with people's lives. It's too far. It keeps going too far. It's not, I live where I say I live. I have nothing to hide. Everybody's address is public. But you are now trying to go a step further and draw attention. Again, my address, my residency has never been in question. This is me having to take a hit because somebody wants to play political games. It's sick, it's sad, it's immature, and it's dangerous. I yield.
Anyone else like to speak in the first round?
Madam Chair?
Go ahead, Mr. Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement. I don't think anyone should be pinpointed out and named in the resolution. I mean, it should, make an amendment to have all council members and not just these. And I so move.
All right, so there's an amended resolution on the floor to include all council members. All right, and it is supported by the councilman in the first ward. All right. Any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Piper.
Just, so this is, I don't necessarily get the point of putting, your point of saying everybody's putting, this is asking for the Michigan State Police to conduct it. This isn't asking Facebook Live to do an investigation. So I don't see how asking the Michigan State Police puts your life in danger. I don't, maybe there's something I'm missing, but I mean, this is, I don't even know if they would do this, but I guess it's worth the ask to put any conspiracies to rest or anything like that. So I will support it if it's for all council members. That way we're not naming names and let the investigation go where they go. If there's council members, and I'm not saying there is, but if there's council members not living where by law they say they live, then I guess, we let the state police investigate it and it goes where it goes. If I don't live where I say I live, then I should face the repercussions. So I'm all for it to be equal across the board. And, if they find that I don't live where I live, then there's repercussions to action. So I'm all for it. And I hope that, if we want to do this, we want to put the conspiracies to rest, then let's support it and ask the Michigan State Police to do across the board. And then, if they come back with no no evidence on anybody, then it's a moot point and people can stop bringing that up. So I'm all for this. Thank you.
All right, anyone else in the first round? All right, seeing that there's no one else in the first round on this amended motion, I am definitely in full support of this. I am. And however, because again, we have the state police and they are the highest police within the state. So if they get down to the bottom of it, then I feel that we definitely have some answers. And so I also feel that we should couple this with the drug resolution, because this is the highest state police that can do the testing. So if we go ahead and do drug testing in addition to the address piece, I am all on board. So I would love to entertain that so we all can shut everything down. We can shut down drug usage allegations. We can shut down where people live and don't live. We
Request
can
for
kill.
information.
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Burns.
I will submit to everyone my drug test I just took, and I'll give it to you to make sure you can read it.
That's
give it
out
to
of
you.
order, and that is, I'm bringing you to order. Do not use privilege motions in that manner. So, thank you for my time. So, if my colleagues are willing to add drug testing to this, I'll be more than willing to support this. But again, we can't pick and choose when we want to put things to rest and we want to jump in without putting it all out there. So I'm totally with it. So Councilwoman Burns, I definitely support your resolution. If we just add drug testing of all 9 members
Request for
to this.
information.
Go ahead, what is your
Is
request?
this a one time, or is this, how are you doing this? Because there was a whole resolution.
Oh, well, what we can do is, when we're good, we can call another recess and we can go ahead and couple some things, talk to the attorney. Or how about this? You want to just send us the government ops just so we can make it one big, great resolution?
No, it needs to be separate. I'm not against drug. I'm not against it, because I think some people should be drug.
Okay, so there's definitely not a back and forth. So use that on your time. All right, and so back to my time. Okay, so ma'am,
Request for
that's your
information.
warning.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
That's fine.
I appeal
That-
the ruling of the chair.
That is fine. So Councilwoman Burns received a warning, and she appealed the ruling of the chair when the chair was trying to continue her time and was asked. And does she have any support? Supported by the lovely councilwoman in the 5th Ward. And so go ahead, Ms. Burns.
First of all, I was finishing up. I don't have a problem being drug tested. I don't have a problem. Matter of fact, MSP done been at my house, and so has Flint PD and the county. because I have drug issues in
Excuse
my
me,
area.
so please
So
pause
I
her
don't-
time.
I don't have.
Please pause her time. So just want to be clear. We're talking about you receiving a warning. So this isn't a
and I'm gonna.
continuation
You didn't
of
let me.
your talking.
You didn't let
Okay,
me finish.
proceed.
This is my time.
Go ahead.
And
No,
I
it's fine.
get
Yes,
you're
thank you.
rattled about all of this that you want to combine. And I mentioned drugs because some people are not going to be where they say they live. So I don't have a problem with a drug test. I don't have a problem with any of this. I really don't. Because one thing I have never been is a drug abuser or user. Not ever. And not an alcoholic. No DUIs, no OUIs, no public intoxication. Matter of fact, I've been blessed to never even have a speeding ticket. So I have no problem with that. So we need to put this to rest. We need to put your gaslighting to rest. We need to do that. And it's because of you I have asked this. Because of you. So I don't have a problem with this. You can write up for you want to, but I got a drug test. I just had to get my blood taken. I have no problem sharing it openly. As I told you, I'm drug tested frequently because of my licensing.
All right. So, per the council rules, my time won't even be as long. She was brought to order because it was the chair's time to speak. She would not stop speaking, so therefore she would not be brought to order. So she got a warning, and that is it. So if you are against the chair, please vote yes. But if we're going to move in favor of the council rules, please vote no. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Mr. Wood, that's your warning. It's not crazy. It's rules. Proceed, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
No.
Ms. Johnson?
No.
Ms. Priestley?
Nope.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
I abstain because I have no idea what's going on.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
The vote is 3 yes, 5 no, 1 abstention.
Vote is 3 yes, 5 no, 1 abstention. That warning is upheld. So again, just want to remind colleagues as well as people in
Request
the
for
audience.
information.
Go ahead. What's your request?
What is the proposed method for testing for the drugs?
Well, we will have to revisit that resolution. So again, if you want to take the time to work on it now, we can, but we can revisit that resolution. So if we just send this to government ops, then we can work on both, get a nice resolution and get it going. So, there's many methods. You can do what? Hair samples. You can do urinalysis, different methods you can use. And it's a difference between a drug testing and drug screening. So I want to make that real clear. The drug testing, drug screening is two totally different. So I think we should be very specific when we say that we're testing for specific drugs. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and yield the floor, and we are in the second round of the amended motion. Anyone else?
Madam Chair.
Request
Go.
for information.
Go. Hold on.
What is the motion?
The motion is to have everyone's address on the floor.
Okay.
But
Madam Chair.
Request
Okay.
for
Go
information.
ahead.
She had
Go
a
ahead,
request.
Madam Clerk, go
I
ahead.
just wanted to clarify because you had, your original motion was to add this, and then a motion was made to amend. If the motion to amend, if you're operating under that, there is no discussion. So I just was continuing under adding it to the floor with that amendment because you haven't technically added it. So if you add it, we're going to add it with the amendment. So the motion on the floor is to add this to the agenda with the change in language.
Right. So we are at the point of seeing if we're going to add this to the agenda, add the amended one to the agenda. So you said there's no discussion on that?
No, if you had, a motion to amend, there's no discussion. But you haven't added it. You haven't voted to add it in the first place. So it would be added with the amended language. So you're still on a motion to add it to the agenda. The rules don't speak to add-ons. So we're just going with the standard motion, the 5 minutes, 3 minutes rounds.
Okay, you said the rules do not speak to the add-on, right?
Your rules do not speak to add-ons. That's
All right. Ms. Priestley, could you please make a note of that?
I absolutely will. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so we will go ahead and just stop right here, and we will go ahead and call for the vote on this amended motion. So this is the motion to add all council members.
Point of order.
Go ahead.
We did not get a second on your motion, I don't believe. Did we?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and we will do a roll call vote for the amended motion. So thank you all for your patience. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
So the roll call vote is to add this amended version to the agenda. The amended
Yeah.
version would be all council members.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Lewis,
No.
Ms. Johnson,
No.
Ms. Priestley,
No,
Ms. Winfrey Carter,
Yes.
Ms. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Mashat,
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer,
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett,
Yes.
Mr. Alamin. The vote is 4 yes, 5 no.
The vote is 4 yes, 5 no, so the amended version has been shot down. Excuse me.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make an amendment to this and for it to just be for Councilwoman Tanya Burns' home.
Oh,
support.
okay, so there has been an amended motion to have this lovely resolution crafted by Councilwoman Tanya Burns for Councilwoman Burns. And I heard support from 2 different wards. I'll go ahead and take support from the first ward. So since there's no discussion, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Fine.
And the roll call, Madam Clerk, is to have a state police
I don't care.
investigation of 6th Ward Council Member Tanya Burns. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Johnson,
No.
Ms. Johnson,
She already said no. She said no. She said no.
She didn't get your vote. She's looking at you.
I said no.
She said
this
no.
This is crazy.
Ms.
I
Priestley,
agree.
Ms. Winfrey Carter,
No.
Ms. Burns,
Yes.
Ms. Mashat,
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer,
No.
Mr. Jarrett.
No.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Jarrett,
No.
Mr. Alamin. Dr. Lewis.
Yes.
The vote is 5 yes, 4 no.
The vote is 5 yes, 4 no. That motion failed. So we are back to the original motion.
I'm sorry.
Wait, what
Madam
happened?
Chair,
That passed.
Hold on.
That passed.
Yeah, I
1,
didn't
2, 3, 4,
No,
5.
I voted on it.
Oh, you voted
No.
on it?
She voted
I
yes.
I have nothing to
Oh,
hide.
I'm sorry. I didn't
no,
hear
no,
that.
sorry, you are.
Okay.
No problem.
No.
No problem.
Excuse me, Ms. Burns, you will exercise decorum as you teach the young people how to act per you. So we will do that. So could you please read it, Madam Clerk?
the vote is 5 yes, 4 no.
All right, so the vote is
And it'll
5
put
yes,
everything to
4 no. That resolution passes.
Forward to it.
All right. All right, so thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
the motion was to add it to the agenda.
Yeah, to add to the agenda. I'm sorry, to add to the agenda. And so that'll be add on.
Okay, you can cut it.
Add this.
Jonathan.
We can add this at
So listen, y'all, you can't make this up. So a couple of things. One, you cannot have any resolution with more than one subject matter. So you can't combine. With Liddell being the chair, she should know that. You cannot have, I want to drug test you, I want an investigation. You cannot do both. You cannot do both. So those have to be separate. Now, because I'm going to shut them down with that garbage, I take a drug, just chuck one. I have we know the difference between, you need to know what's the difference between a drug test and drug screen. I have a drug panel, okay? A drug panel. So I took a panel and I'm going to share it. Not just that, because it's the time of the year where actually my doctor's office called and said, hey, we need to make sure that everything's going on. Your blood pressure is okay. because it's a lot going on. And so I'm like, how does he know? And I want to give a shout out to Dr. Manassian in Grand Blanc. He has been my physician since 1999. Dr. Ram Manassian on South Saginaw Street, almost to McClandish, a wonderful doctor. He called me. He said, hey, he had the nurse call and say, hey, doctor needs to see you. Okay, for what? And so she says, well, he wants to know, make sure your blood pressure is okay. I said, what do you mean? Ms. Burns, we watch you. Oh, and it's a lot going on, and you're a very passionate person. So when I went to I said, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and they do a colon thing where you send it in. It's in a test box. That I got everything done. I said, well, schedule me for a mammogram. I did that, the mammogram this past Saturday. Then I remember the machine's now name is Christina. But I remember they kept telling me, Sophie's not going to bother you. Sophie's the machine. Sophie hurt. It's now done in 3D. So ladies, go get your mammogram. And this was actually pretty quick for me. I went in Saturday I was in and out less than 45 minutes. So get your mammograms. And I took enough blood that they asked me when I went to the lab, was my doctor mad at me? So I think it was a total of 14 for the one and then 5 for the drug panel. And so can you put up where Leon L. Alameen, he did put on the PPO. I didn't see that at first. And so my issue with him is not to get back. It's disturbing that he is actually on this council. I didn't state that, here's one thing. If he wanted the public out of his business, he should have kept his hands off of her. I didn't have Kiki contact me. I didn't have her mother contact me. I will not support a person in domestic violence. That's just like saying to about Jeffrey Dahmer. Can you put up the thing? Did I send it to you? It's like a beige thing, Jonathan. I sent it to you, which it states where it's stating that I was on cocaine. I was a known cocaine. Yeah. So here, y'all here. Why did they get upset about this? So they decide to get upset because I'm defending myself. Now, this is Councilman Lee L. Alameen, who lives on the same street currently as me. The street he claims he lives on, has a registered sex offender with a lease since 2023 that he's been in, which means he wasn't even in compliance to even run. Not just that, this is him checking, yes, do you know if the person or whatever you're requesting has a known or a drug habit? He put, yes, she has a known. Look, let me read it out loud because on this screen it's short. It's a little small and I don't have the youthful eyes like that anymore. So let me blow it up. So I didn't see this. So when I went to court, because I went against because he is a liar. He is a pathological liar. He lied on here. He lies on me. He's a pathological, habitual, chronic liar, Leon L. Alameen. I am not a drug abuser. And I'm going to sue him, which is why, for slander, because I'm not, you're not going to play with my name. You're not going to do that. So on here, number 9 was, do you believe the respondent was under the influence of any alcohol or drug, legal or illegal, at the time of incident? Leon L. Alameen stated, yes. You see, he checked the box. If yes, what substances and why do you believe this? He put alcohol, and he spelled it wrong. Somebody get him spell check. He needs spell check. He put alcohol. He missing. Uh-oh. I don't know what. Okay. Alcohol and cocaine with a lollipop eye. So I'm defending myself because you're not going to run my name in the ground when you have been a drug dealer. You have been shot by someone, whatever your drug deal went bad. You've been in prison. You come out for 10 years. Kiki is stating she was beat by you, the Genesee County prosecutor, and leave this up. It has prosecuting him and stating that she was strangled for a felony and a misdemeanor, murder, but less than murder with strangulation. He does not and has not ever lived in that house on Mott Street. Neither has his child lived there that he claims I got full custody, or his child's mother. They never lived there. He just lying. Now, in Lapeer, the person was charged with a felony for not living where they were supposed to live. He's tethered to the house that the drug deals with door was kicked in when he went to prison. That house has been raided numerous times. It's not a safe environment. That house has been raided. Y'all remember when it was on Channel 12 News. 2 people got shot about 3 months ago, corner of Donaldson and Berkeley, a block away from this house. There's also a drug problem over in that area. Is it a coincidence that he's back over there? I highly suspect it's not. But that's where he's tethered to. 2 people can't live that are tethered. Lori is tethered. The sex offender is tethered. You can't have 2 people who are tethered in the same house. You can't. So, but it's okay that he can say what he wants. He come from a sketchy past. I don't. Some people have changed their lives. In my opinion, he has not, because he's on here lying. I've never used drugs. Never, 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 never. I don't have any DUIs, any OUIs. I don't have any of that. So but when I defend myself, but let's talk about Judy talking about we're going to get on later with the water usage, because I had to do some investigating with that. And not my problem. But when Judy says about where I live and Liddell says it, Candace had nothing to say. Nothing to say. Interesting. Not drawing attention when they were flat out. Candace ain't been cordial to nobody. I think she's conflicted with her own personality sometimes. So I do have a private investigator. I do. Because what they're going to not do is play with me. I'm not going to play with them. So I don't have a problem. I put myself in the resolution. And if you can put the resolution up for me, Jonathan, please. And then when they decided, they voted no to have Leon, Liddell, and Candace, they voted no to have themselves investigated. If you have nothing to hide, why would you say no? So having me outside of it was not a problem, because I'm the one who initiated it. Because let's put it on the table. If I had it in the original, why would I not vote for myself? And see, this shows you when Liddell was like, that resolution failed because she was dumb enough to think, I would not vote on it. As she fell asleep on my couch, I forget what she was going on. She had stopped over one day. We were going over some stuff and she stopped over and she just passed. I'm like, are you okay? Yeah. And so I'm like, this is really what you want to do. Now I've been full disclosure. Her and Councilman Mays and Councilwoman Winfrey Carter were all over here right after we were elected. Literally, y'all, I went to bed. So Liddell needs to quit. Like, she's a liar too. I guess liars kind of stand together. That the liars are standing together. And so I went to bed. So I did not know. Mays called me like 2 hours later, 2.5 hours. And he was like, man, she done changed her mind already. Because she told him in my living room she was going to vote for him as president. She told him that. Now they went out. Look, I'm not watching grown folks go out. Look, I was tired. I'm in bed, y'all. Mays called me. He was still in my drive. I was like, man, I'm just smoking a cigarette. She changed her mind. You know, something wrong with her. Yeah, we do now know that. Because she said that she would support him. Then she told him, I'm not going to do it. They would rather have me as the president and not know what I'm doing. And I'm going to be the president. That's what happened. She was here. Y'all done heard Councilwoman Winfrey Carter state she was here too. She was. And so the fact that she lies, you know, she needs to stop. She is a liar, just like the person in Leon L. Alameen. And so is Liddell Lewis, a liar. She is a liar. Now, Leon L. Alameen, I showed you, took pictures of the house where where my son and his father lives. At 5 something in the morning, they were stalking. If they had pictures, I know they would have put them up. Matter of fact, a police chief lives on that block. A retired sergeant lives across the street, which my son's father is retired from the police department. And then there is a sheriff that's down in the cul-de-sac. Talk to the whole street. I'm okay. Now, this is how stupid they are. My neighbor next door works for the city. He works for the city. Well, now his sister lives there. And so the funny part is I live where I live. I live where I live. That's the funny part. But I wanted them, you didn't hear Candace say nothing about this. And so some of them need to actually resign before the private investigator who knows where you lived at, for people where you lived at before you was elected, you really didn't live there. Yeah. So y'all want to play. I'm not going to play with you. I'm not going to play. I don't play these games. And so and let me tell you who gave Leon the addresses and my mother's house. He had my mother's house. My mother lives in the Hamilton district. It's like Mount Morris Township with the Flint address. Leon was riding by my mom's house. I showed that to y'all. I showed y'all the post box and sent the house in Flushing and my mother's house to people along with my house. Now, going through his hard drive, Leon was investigating me in 2021 for big time. And guess who big time is? Mayor Sheldon Neely. So he had Mayor Sheldon Neely put my house up on the social media. Y'all know it stayed up there when I was running in 2021. Big time, Mayor Sheldon Neely had Leon put my house up on social media. They even did videos. But when you turn the tables and the truth come at them, they can't handle it. Then they got a problem. So everyone knows my mother has had some strokes and she has some challenges now. And so if my mother, look, Miss Shirley called me, I'm there. That's just what it's going to be. And she's faced some challenges and it's difficult. And so the part that she had my mother's house, Liddell sent Leon my mother's house. She sent him my son's father's house. She sent it to him. And Leon had been investigating me for Mayor Sheldon Neely since 2021. Yeah, we searched the hard drive. Sure did. So go play with somebody else. I'm not going to play with them. Something is wrong with these people. They had them put it up. And it was up. And we know he calls them big time, not just from that, but he sent them the message when he got out of jail for domestic violence. He sent 4 text messages out of Kiki's location to people. One was Mayor Sheldon Neely, which you call big time. The second was to Liddell Lewis, which she was harboring him as a fugitive. Every place, Liddell, because I know you're watching, and I'm glad you are, because I get a little bit more than 5 minutes where you like to interrupt and then give me a warning and try to get me kicked out. My attorneys is waiting so we can get you. It's going to happen because I'm not going to play with you. You created enough history going down. And so as Liddell was harboring Leon, who was a fugitive, who did not turn herself in. Yeah, you left Liddell's, was there about 30, 35 minutes that day. Then you decided to go on Stewart Street, and the police got you right when you left Stewart Street because you were being tracked. You're being tracked. Now, I had a whole tracker, and I didn't share it with y'all on Apple Track, but he had that little Apple Watch, and what he didn't know, he got the Apple Watch. No, the police have the Apple, right? The Mount Morris police for the case has the Apple Watch. So whatever's on the Apple Watch, I don't know at this point, I'm just kind of wondering why he ain't been, while he's awaiting, he's not in jail unless he's snitching on people. We only know that when you ain't in jail, you're snitching. So I don't know if y'all might want to watch and be careful. I'm just saying, because that Apple Watch, if y'all ever contact him by text message, the police have that and have been going through it. I'm just telling you, that's how they were tracking him. They were tracking him by, Kiki was tracking him by the Apple Watch, and the Apple Watch went to the police. And so we knew each time he was at Liddell's. Liddell didn't tell him to turn himself in. She didn't. They was over there kicking it. They was kicking it. So yeah, as soon as he left your house, Liddell, they didn't want to arrest him at your house, But But when he went to the house on Stewart, then they got him because Kiki was able to track him. He didn't turn himself and he had been staying at your house. Y'all was kicking it. I don't know who he was meeting at Forest Park or Max Brandon Park too, daily or whatever. I mean, she had every place he was at. And now the police got it. Police got it. When you mess over your baby mama, what is wrong with you? That's the silly part. Police done went off through that thing now. Oh, yeah, you were harboring a fugitive, Liddell Lewis. You absolutely were. You were harboring a fugitive. So I don't have a problem with you monitor, what I'm doing, but I want to know, one, you can't put more than one subject in a resolution. Liddell should know that. She should know that. This thing about the drugs, I don't have a problem with that, but you do it the right way. The other issue is not mine, it's with the American Civil Liberties Union. And y'all also heard the attorney said you shouldn't do it. They had not even vetted that. I didn't shoot that down. The attorney did. Attorney Sparrow said, no, we did not approve this language. No. So how are they hurting me? Like I don't give a damn. Look, I got good veins. We can pass a drug test, alcohol test, sobriety. I don't have them issues. Don't have them. But when we have men who decide to go get fake PPOs, because when I went to the office, I'm going to do my homework, and so is my investigator. See, y'all done pissed me off. And so when they got 9 PPOs and your address is that of a Mount Morris Township going back, and that was just within a couple of years. And so when we look at that part, you shouldn't have ran. You should be in prison. You should be charged with another felony for not living where you say you live. Then you jeopardizing the lady who's in compliance. So can we put up the compliance? I may be out of order with this, and I'm sorry, Jonathan. That is kind of my little role. So let's show where she's been in compliance. There is a sex offender there. She started her life over. So the police, they went there, and the police stated it's just her and her dog. So she's in compliance. What does it say? Compliant. It doesn't have her name. What's the address? Mott Avenue. Mott Avenue has a registered sex offender. First ward, y'all should be raising all kind of hell. He don't live there. He defrauded the first ward people. He lied to every first ward resident. He don't live there. There is a registered sex offender that lives there. She's a female, white, 5'3", brown eyes. She's in compliance. She's in compliance. Her last time she was in compliance was 10/1. So she should be coming up this week coming up. Should be coming up. He don't live there. He ain't never lived here. He falsified his address to be in the first ward, to run for first ward. Why aren't their asses concerned about this? Let's put the second one up. I think we got a picture to show. She real. She real. And so he want to say, I'm a cocaine and an alcohol. And now, when I get a drug habit, Leon, we have never run in the same circles, nor Liddell. Y'all would never know. But I will share my drug panel with you. Did I send you the other one? I don't know if I sent you the other one, Jonathan, or not. If I get a drug habit, I'll let everybody know. Get me some help. But there are people who are facing real issues. No, I didn't send you another one. I did not. That's my bad. So this is his address of the sex offender. Then he said, let's put up the yellow and white, the one with the yellow highlight. These are the gangs. First Lord, you all should be so angry because you deserve better of an elected official. You deserve better. So number 11, this is his response. I can't read this one. I gotta pull it up, y'all, because y'all know it's a little I don't have those young eyes anymore. I used to think that it was I'm gonna read this to y'all. Now, it is child endangerment if you decide to put your child in harm's way with the sex offender. You can't do that. But apparently it depends on who you are. So number 11, the question, furthermore, this is from Kiki Martin. Furthermore, I have discovered that the defendant resides at blank Mott Avenue. They were living at the home in Mount Morris Township, the three, her, him, and the child, which is the residence of a sex offender. This is an actual court document. This has been presented in the case. Leon needs to resign. Why, Davina, I need you to do your job on this. I need the prosecutor to do his job too. So his response, y'all see that up there because I'm bringing you the facts. I want y'all to see. This is how they're allowing somebody who lived down the street from me. So on Tuesdays, he can put my trash can back behind my house where I live. And Judy, tell us how you pay cash for that kitchen. Because my water usage is fine, but I'm going to get into the system that y'all don't understand. Just don't send me no back water bill because I can't afford it on what they pay for city council. So, response. Defendant admits as true that he has always maintained his residence at Mott Avenue. Defendant admits as true, thus it is also the residence. It is true, that it is the residence of a registered sex offender. However, the minor child and the registered sex offender have never had any contact. Defendant will stipulate that the minor child should never be in the presence of a registered sex offender. Leon lying to the manly or whoever his attorneys are, because you can't be around a child. The sex offender can't be around. What will happen to her being in compliance? She would lose it. And so when you talk about he playing with people's lives, because he has a big regard for people in life, a big regard. Leon took out 13 insurance policies. 13. The people don't even know it. He took out 2 on Kiki. He forged her name, and then spelled it wrong. Then it was a text message. You waiting on the money from your baby mama? Oh, laughing my ass off. He sent that to Tiara. And then she sends back, greed is going to be the death of you. So now you talking about in a 750, 800 max square foot home, you gonna keep the child away from the sex offender? How? Kiki got 2 policies he forged and misspelled her name. And we know he can't spell because he couldn't spell alcohol. Okay? And then he was making lollipop eyes. People have seen him. About 30 people didn't see the insurance policy that he forged. He forged insurance, 13 of them. One person dead and missing is his cousin. And see, they keep playing. We shouldn't make it personal. It's personal as hell because Leon made it personal. Because Liddell, who was harboring a fugitive, made it personal. He needs to step aside and deal with this court case. Deal with his child's case. Deal with that. Deal with the fact that she wouldn't have contacted me if you hadn't have strangled her. If the officer McCain stated she had bruises and lacerations on her face and blood that were consistent, and she was shaking so bad that she could not fill out the paperwork. So to the other 4 women who are supporting him, shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. Then Judy, or my auntie or my mama or whoever was beat, and then you keep his ass up in that seat knowing that he'd have beat this girl. Her days are more bad than good, and y'all are supporting this? Liddell harbored a future. Judy acts like Liddell's lapdog. Candace just cares about winning. That's it. And LaShawn, you shouldn't be supporting this because they're not going to tell you the truth. You want counsel now. Here's your proof. If he's putting his child in debt, this is a court document. This is a court document. Yes, there's a sex offender living in the house, but I'm going to keep my child away. Yeah, I know it's a sex offender living here. Don't play video games with them, because that's what sex offenders do. They groom people. Johnny D. Peters, John Cole, gave a 15, which was also Liddell and Mayor Sheldon Neely friend. And, we got to start looking at the company that they keeping. I don't have known sex offenders, or if they spirit meet me before I say hello to them, That's the Lord telling me something, and I'm taking note of it. Again, if they spirit meet me before they say hello, that's God telling me to pay attention. LaShawn, stop trusting them. They ain't nothing but for themselves. They low down and they dirty. This he put in this document, his child is around a sex offender. Tell me when this is okay. It ain't never okay. I didn't reach out to Kiki. She reached out to me. Her emergency room papers. They took the pictures. Do you think the prosecutor gonna say I'm a file fake charges on you? Do you think Detective McCain gonna lie? The police, the judge, the prosecutor, the police, the judge, the prosecutor, those are all neutral people. What the hell else do y'all need to know that this guy is a problem? Police, prosecutor, and judge, it was bound over. So it's being worked on him being convicted. Only thing gets you out of being convicted in Flint is who you snitch on. Now, normally you get 3 weeks. If it's from district court, you get bound over in 3 weeks. Leon got 90 days. He got 90 days. I was like, wow. I mean, everybody's been like, wow. The attorneys are like, wow. So anybody he was friends with, y'all better watch him, because they gave him, normally you get 3 weeks. He got 3 months. He's been in first when he was bound over. He went in front of Judge Tabitha Marsh. Then he went in front of Judge Weir. He's been in his next one is to be Judge Hannibal. And he's getting long amounts of time. Long amounts. So they need to get angry. Don't get upset because my clap back and me refuting what y'all saying. Don't get mad at that, Liddell. If you're going to play the game, make sure you play the game and cover the board. That's what you need. Don't play with me because I'm not your child, Liddell. Okay? I'm not going to play with you. And if y'all, they listening to him, they need to, and I need to quit. I wouldn't ask Liddell for shit. Liddell couldn't tell me the time of day. Liddell couldn't tell me what color my shirt or my sweater was, because all her ass do is lie. She done been on my couch. She done been in my house. She was friends with my family. And this is the thing. When she don't speak, and y'all remember the time when she went, when my family came through and had to check her? But she was like her first cousins. Nobody knew that those were my first cousins but Liddell. And only Black people, that's my first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, my cousin through marriage. That is something that we do in our culture. And so she put my first cousins and them address up there. I'm like, wow, okay, no one knew that but you, Liddell. And so I had one cousin who was still speaking to her. I don't know if she's still speaking to her, but the rest of them said they can kiss her, believe. And they came up and spoke. Because Liddell, why wasn't Candace and them upset about that? She didn't put my mom address. They didn't put my kids. And this has been baby before. I don't give a rat's ass about Liddell. Let me be clear. I do not. She was that fake Linda Pendleton page. She put my children's phone number up. She put the addresses. She put my mother's up. She put my cousins up. So just Liddell's a terrible person. Terrible person. Terrible. Kiki's got 2 policies that was on her with a company called, I think, Global Life. They were forged. She didn't know about them. She did not know about them. So I don't have a problem with a drug panel, or she says a drug screening, a drug test. I did a drug panel. So if there's anything that might have been in my system with anything, I'm going to share it. And then I want her to apologize, do something she's never been as a lady and apologize. Because I don't have a problem. You just can't have 2 resolutions. You can't have 2 topics in the same resolution. You can't do that. You just can't. So they started the lie. I'm going to finish it. I don't have a drug problem. I live where I say I live. So, can you put the one up with the red box, please? I don't think we put that one up. And so when they get into stuff, they get mad when you defend yourself. Candace has never been cordial to anybody. That's not the one with the red box. It's a none with the red. Oh, we did put that one up. The lady is compliant. Okay, we did. Thank you. So when and not being cordial and not being nice, she ain't been cordial. She sat there, they boxed Dennis in, her and Liddell called them all kind of snake, no good person, boxed them in. Liddell sat in the 9th person seat, but you're supposed to sit in your designated seat because you cannot vote by proxy. You got to be in your designated seat. She is not the 9th ward council person. She is the 2nd ward council person and shouldn't be that. And she's harboring fugitives, which is against the law. It's a felony too. Yeah, you know what, Liddell, I'm gonna have to ask her about that because you were, and the police got that watch. Kiki gave that watch to them. Yeah, they asked for it. That's how they caught Leon, because he was at your house and the signal was transmitting. But the fact that he was monitoring me since 2021 and he put my house up there, you gave him, Liddell, my mother's address. You gave him where my son is. Oh, no one's coming to my house. My son and girl, stop. You put all my kids' shit up there. They've been doing it since 2021. So no one's doxing Candace. She needs to stop. She needs to stop. But let's just make sure that we know that anytime you get a mortgage, that all of those papers are foyable. Every single one. And they don't redact them at that point. But so in an investigation, they don't. Before they're presented to the public, then they are. So if you didn't live where you say you lived before you ran, resign now. So we're gonna go on. Look, y'all, if y'all can donate to, put the sign up for me while I look for my name. If y'all can please make sure that you donate to Jonathan $2 to Cash App. Please donate kindly to Cash App $ John Eaton Media. Because y'all know your girl and God, of course, because I get a little passionate. Ain't no coincidence about some of this stuff. And John is gonna learn. He's like, oh, we didn't have all that scheduled. And producer Jay on there talking about don't be on till tomorrow at 9:00 a.m. I just got a few things I gotta cover. So y'all do me a favor, hit those. Thank you, producer Jay. Hit that like button. So, and these are the things that these people do to play in our faces. So I live where I say I live, which is funny. And so I'm going to skip to that because I'm going to go to a couple of things. So one of the things where we're doing that, and I want to put this up. So one of the things Judy stated was that she don't live where she lives. She says, you've never flushed the toilet. Not even so much as a toilet flush. Now, this was her and Liddell the week before. Okay. So she's never flushed the toilet in no water usage in her home. Okay. Look, the bill, look, they come. So I started looking at it. I went all the way back. And so I know more about the Department of Public Works than I care. Y'all know your girl know about the administrative consent order. So I'm like, okay, there became a point where they wanted to replace the system, which we received funding through the WIN funds for a $9.2 million system. And part of that system is what they have, a transpondent. The transpondent sends the signal out. So the truck goes by. Everybody knows in the 6th ward, your internet is completely trashed. It is. And so when that signal is sent out, what it does is go to the cell towers, and it bounces off. So it's like an antenna that rides around on the car and it picks up supposedly automatically. So during COVID, my bill was estimated up until the time we had to have our meters changed because the meters were defective. Flint had a problem with defective meters. So they said, hey, if you don't let people in your house during COVID, and there were many seniors were like, I don't want nobody in my house. I don't know these people. I don't want them in, because I may get COVID. Because it used to be the person would come read your meter inside your house, which I never understood why they weren't outside. I don't know. And so, or some type of system that would work better. So they come through in these little trucks and they read your meters. So I did have my meter changed, and the guy who came in had a red scarf on. This is some years ago. And so I looked at my bill. So my bill went from being estimated to what they have A on it, which is actual. And so on the bill, it's now actual. The problem is, now I didn't go down in the basement to watch him change out no meter. That ain't required for me to do. I let him in. He came in the side door. He changed the meter. When he was done, I met him at the side door. He went out. So it's clear because it does not show water usage. I went all the way back. So one of the things is we've had defective meters is clearly, as I talked to a couple of professionals in the field, is that it's probably where they have the transponder that is probably not picking the signal up, and that it probably needs to be higher because it's in the basement to pick up the signal. I have poor signal, period. So the signal may be getting picked up from the truck, or at some point is what they told me, but it's not being transmitted over, because there is no way. I mean, if that means I haven't taken a bath in 8 years, I mean, come on, y'all. In the summertime, I'm a Black woman. I will take 2 showers a day. Okay. Sometime if it's hot, I don't like feeling sticky. And unless I'm wearing Depends, who's flushing the toilet? I mean, come on. And so when we look at this, it is really unrealistic. So I asked, well, how do you fix that? I said, would they back charge me on the bill? I ain't paying them nothing. I ain't got no money. Look, this is I love the people, but city council is the worst paying job, and Flint has got the greatest needs. So the transponder has probably got to be above, they stated, the bricks, which would be the cement wall or the cinder blocks in the basement, which is why, but literally the transponder. So say like this is the basement. The transponder is right down here. So it's below. And so he said the signal more than likely for yours is not reading. So, but for Judy, I'm like, wow, y'all watching my water usage. So my bill went from being estimated, which I don't have a problem. And look, I look forward to the police coming to my house again. And it's funny because when Leon sent my address of my home and where I stay to people that he texted to, I had to tell the police. So I had to tell them that Leon sent my mother's home, my son's father home, and my home to people. And that Liddell gave him which addresses. Liddell already knew where I stayed. So I absolutely did. And so my life has not been the same. Like I say, they've been trying to say forever that I don't live here, which is cute, and I'm like, y'all need to get something else. So I did decide to put up to create the resolution. Let me be investigated. I don't have a problem. I do not have a problem at all. So they can investigate it and do whatever they want to. I'm good with that. And it was my idea because let's put it to rest. I am going to share my drug panel and then let's see what they come up with. So Jen said the world wants to know if the sex offender that Leon lives with, what's the relationship there? Well, Leon stated it was his lifetime partner. Leon stated that the sex offender is his lifetime partner in the document. I'm not kidding. I'll get y'all the document. I don't know if it'll be before the show, but that's what he stated. So he said his lifetime partner. So I guess he likes sex offenders, according to him. He said it was his lifetime partner in the document. I'm just saying, and if this is the type of person that they're voting to support, that he's stating it was his lifetime partner. This person is still on parole. She had a lease. We submitted the lease. It was submitted. And all the other documents. He does not live there. First word should be outrage. And Leon is a liar. He's a liar. Habitual, chronic, pathological, and he apparently likes to beat on women, according to him being charged with a misdemeanor and a felony of less than strangulation. So let's move on. So we are going to go on to let's go on to St. Mark. So St. Mark had a beautiful program with Bishop Larry Trotter. It was wonderful. Jonathan was there recording it, the one that's on here now. He goes to St. Mark, and he was there. It was a beautiful. I want to say thank you to everyone who supported St. Mark during that time and who showed up. Thank you for each of you who did that. And so also also, I do want to say we're going to go to the St. Mark. So St. Mark Church seeks justice after arson attack. So yes, thank you. And so St. Mark Church. So this was the night. The picture in the back is the night of some of the camera footage. It took hours of watching video. Jonathan put it into less than 10 minutes to hand over. It is the ATF. The Flint Police, MSP. I don't know if the county is working on it or not. So Flint St. Mark seeks justice after arson attack, and we did a press release. Press release was to answer questions. So here was one of the things which was strange is the guy in the picture up in the first one that's higher, he came to the church August 24th, wanted to speak with the pastor. This is less than a week after St. Mark finally was approved, but hadn't received the money yet. I don't think they still have received it yet for food to support food insecurities and to give food giveaways. He came to the church. So we're going to talk about facts. It's also a fact that the guy in the picture, which he had lost a little, you can see he had lost weight. It's the same guy in the picture. It's the same guy standing next to Liddell, where she was installing smoke detectors. And he is the alleged arsonist. There's also a picture with him having burns on his hands. So these are things which are serious. So one of the guys, the detective, the journalist was saying, well, why can't she identify him? Because she's standing next to him. And so this is the person who's to be the alleged arsonist. And so I think we know he took 3 gasoline cans to the church to set it on fire. He doesn't even have a car to even have one. And they were new gasoline cans. So someone purchased those for me. Here's the good thing. You can find out who purchased gas in small increments, which they're investigating. The ATF, the Department of Justice, Chief Attorney, Deputy Attorney Van says, they're checking out these things that we all know about. Who has, and if you put on your credit card or your debit card, who just purchased three gasoline cans? And who's walking around at 2:00 a.m. with gas cans? Come on. So here was something that I found interesting. Liddell Lewis made a post same time that the guy was walking around there, setting the church on fire. Liddell Lewis made a post about me. I don't think that's a coincidence. See, so I know they can ping your location. She made a post about me the same time, which was really interesting. I'm like, who was up? I'm like, you're making a whole post about me at 3 a.m., which was, she was lying because that's what she do. And it's the same time as the fire, y'all. And so I'm like, okay, so you're doing a little firebug thing. And, I'm thinking, allegedly, but the church was on fire and she's making posts about me. That's a fact. And so I'm going to put the post up and y'all go see. And it's the same time. Now, if they can ping, she better hope she wasn't pinged in that area. Because here are some of the things. Now, we seen in that camera a box truck. We do know that Nikki Reed put up a post that Leon L. Alameen gave her a U-Haul truck to use. Was it the box kind? The small little short one. I wonder, was it that? Because she made that post about that box, about that U-Haul truck that he had given her. So, I find that to be very interesting. I'm like, okay, so you had a U-Haul. And in the video, y'all, guess what you see? The box truck. You see the box truck. Maybe we need to play that video too, because they had the clip part. I don't think everyone has seen it. Jonathan, if you can hear me, do you have the small part of that video? If you can put that one up. Yeah, let's play that one. Thank you.
Tore through St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church in Flint. But today, leaders say their faith is stronger than ever. ABC 12's Tanaya Jordan spoke to church leaders about the fire and their fight for justice.
After months of no answers, church leaders and supporters are asking the community for help in identifying the person involved with starting a fire at this church back in August.
So it was no structural type of damage. It's one of those real sound buildings. But devastation totally.
Pastor Kevin Thompson of St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church and 6th Ward Councilwoman Tanya Burns highlighting the damage that was done to the church, the sanctuary, and the newly renovated classrooms.
An individual purposely brought 3 gasoline cans, used a metal object, and firebombed the church.
This cannot be the normal in Flint. This can't be the normal worldwide.
The person suspected of starting the fire at St. Mark is also the same person suspected of making threats to Reverend Matthew Hogue Smith of the People's Church of Flint.
We received a threat via our Facebook that an alleged person who used their own Facebook page said that they were going to bring an AR-15 to our church and cut the church and myself.
Church leaders tell us, despite video evidence and social media postings, police say someone needs to identify the person of interest before any arrest can be made. Flint Police Chief Terrence Green explained that he will not allow social media to influence the investigation. In a statement sent to ABC 12 News, Green said, "The officer involved in the case has gathered evidence and submitted that evidence for biological testing and is awaiting the results. This is an ongoing investigation that has been worked on daily. The Flint Police Department will not compromise this investigation. When there is clear and convincing evidence to charge the suspect, it will be done in the state or federal system."
It has been a long, hard road. It has been depressing, but we find joy when there is prayer going on in our city.
Church leaders told me, thankfully, no one was hurt and services have returned to the sanctuary. However, they say damage from the fire was extensive, but repairs are moving forward. In Flint, Tanaya Jordan, ABC 12 News.
Thanks, Tanaya.
Okay, can you put up the post? So the same time I just sent you, Jonathan. So the same time the church is on fire, literally starting, boom, he arrives at the what's the name? Liddell Lewis is making a post about me. I'm like, you can't make this up. So she puts in the post. Let me find it. So she makes the post. Literally, the fire started a little after 2 a.m. And what time did she make the post? 2 a.m. And so you can see it's going to say 3 hours ago. It was 6:34 a.m. So it's a little over 3 hours ago. You got like that hour because it doesn't give you minutes of time. This was her post that that she made, but she just can't help. She's obsessed with me. Something is wrong with her. She's a dangerous person. We know she likes to run into people, bump them over. She'll lie on you. She throws people out by telling lies. And so she says, food for thought. It's uplifting to see the vice president of the Flint City Council promoting peace, yet disheartening that a colleague in the 6th Ward made a declaration against peace. It's time to hold these responsible for hindering our city's progress hostage. We owe it to the employees and residents and to the oath that we took as council members to strive for unity. Well, Leon shouldn't even be on there, and there's some other people who shouldn't either. So, and that private detective is doing his job. So, same time that she's making a post, church is being set on fire. I don't think that's a coincidence, because subliminally, some people with mental health issues will send a shot. They can't directly say something, but it can be directly say, yeah, I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm making this about you, because she has mental health issues. So when I said to her, I hope your fingerprints aren't on that trash bag or those cans. Yes, I hope they aren't, because I know what you were doing was putting a post up at the same time the church was on fire about me. Now, if this post, if they're able to ping her phone back to the cell tower, because they can ping the phones back. How interesting would that be? So I just hope her fingerprints aren't on there. But we do know what she was doing was making a post that was like, I never said that about peace. She kept telling that lie. Just lie. Councilwoman Murphy Carter says she would never work for her. I just told her she doesn't have any redeeming qualities and I don't like her. And then, and we know this is a lie because literally her and I had been working on when she got caught in the lie on the Zoom meeting with the city attorney. We were meeting on Thursdays between 2 and 3, dealing with students and fighting. And she was on there, her and I. For me, it's business. I didn't say, I said, I don't like you and I never will. I mean that. She doesn't have any redeeming qualities. She's nasty to the people. She's terrible. She doesn't mind lying. She continues to use the police to go against the people by weaponizing them to throw them out. And it's something she just gets off on and gets excited about. But we know this is a fact that when this was taken, I'm like, it's a whole fire going on. And she is posting about me. Liddell, I hope your location wasn't near and can't be pinged. If so, girl, turn yourself in. If you did that. If you did, go ahead, turn yourself in. Because your timing is right there. Made a whole post. That was JWC said she would never work with you. I said I didn't like you. So I'm very clear where I stand at on you. So she sure got hot when you never called her an arsonist, Dr. Producer Jack. Yes, I never called her an arsonist. I just said, I hope your fingerprint's not on here. That's what I said. That is what I said. So moving on. So church is on fire. And what is she doing? She's making the post. That's kind of like mentally ill people making posts with some satisfaction. And I'm going to tell you, at the time this was posted, the fire had not been started yet, y'all. It was in that time frame. He spent almost an hour walking around the church, looking at the peaches, doing everything. If you can put up the 8-minute 58, or you can put, or if you can put up the video, Jonathan, that you made, I would like to play that next. Because someone who said, if you can put that up whenever you got it ready, I would like for you to please put that up. If you can, I didn't even think of that one. So I just think that he said he can hear that St. Mark video, which is, I think it was 9 minutes about the fire. But my concern is, this is a person who, when you got to just pop it up if you can get it up. And so why is she up making posts about it? It's weird and strange. Weird and strange. I'm a water technician for a major city, and what you're saying is true. We have Bluetooth and GPS, which works best. Well, we have a $9.2 million system, and guess what, Andre? Nobody knows how to work it. This is also the same system that when I asked them during, and I know we're diverting a little bit, when I asked them how much water leakage and loss we have, they don't know because they don't know how to use the system. I asked this during budgeting time. I asked Mr. Moore. I don't know who the DPW, nobody knows. Because we have a $9.2 million system and it's already prepaid. It was prepaid, and they don't know how to use it. So if it's not responding, literally it is zero usage. But nasty ass Judy, who need to mind her business, how she paid cash for that kitchen. That's not the way that you do it, because her feet are black, not mine. Her feet were the color of asphalt, not mine. Asphalt feet need to leave me alone because I'm not in the mood. But that tells me if mine is reading zero, I'm not the only one. Or either it may have been put in a place where the person I talk to, the people, that it's located to where it's not responding. And I do know that my signal is terrible. Okay, so this is the video, y'all. He's walking out the bush. The same time that Liddell Lewis is putting up a text message about me. Same time. And in the corner of one of the videos, we're going to see a U-Haul truck and a white crossover vehicle that's going to be in and out of the shots. So It's funny because someone called me from a couple of people and said Liddell was temporarily driving a white crossover, that it's a lady. They said they seen it. I never noticed it because she usually comes in late. I never noticed what she was driving. So this is the guy. He's gonna walk over, look, he's gonna check out what's in the box, and he's doing his thing, Now, meantime, again, Liddell's sending the text. Same time this is going on, she's texting me. So the picture changes from black and white because those are the IRs to infrareds in the cameras. I don't know who was driving that U-Haul truck. Well, that's interesting. Hey, Berta, baby. Hey, alien superstar. Hey, Jen. So look, y'all watching the corner. You see him back in the right-hand corner. He's walking up there to the window, and when we blew it up and there was hours looked at these videos. And thank you, Jonathan, for the work he did, because this is Jonathan compiled this video. And so this was the video that was played at the press conference, compiling all the scenes which were important. And so Christine said, how much water usage do you use? Well, she probably didn't have any during the month that her feet were black as asphalt. I can tell you that. And so I think, did he walk away yet? And so the bigger screen is much nicer when you can see it on the big screen. And thank you, Jonathan, for making it big and across the entire screen. So this is the dumpster. The church was, I had just finished getting the roof put on it. Oh, you see him back in the right-hand corner. I think that's when he's dumping the gasoline. He had 3 gasoline cans. When I had called the battalion chief, he told me that he could not come back to the scene. He couldn't come back to collect the gasoline cans. And then they stated to leave the gasoline can. One was in the field, 2 were in the dumpster. Leave them in there. We're on a holiday weekend, Labor Day, until Tuesday. I did call Chief Green and said, you have a problem, sir. He did pick up, surprisingly. Maybe he heard all the people showed out, because prior to that, he wasn't taking my calls. He did send, he said, I'm going to get some people over. He sent 3 people at that point. So he's back there dumping the gas in. So he's already broken the window. And so we narrowed this down. So the numerous cameras, we have to look through each camera's videos and getting the best angles. And it takes a lot of time, and then editing it down. Now, he dumps all this gas in there. And you will see, when it light up in that corner, you're going to see him setting, it get hot. That fire comes right. There we go. He's going back. He's going to come back again. Y'all see him. He come from the back through the field. Now, more than likely, that person is waiting on the other side, because he had 3 gasoline cans, one in a garbage bag that was a household garbage bag. But like I said, at this time, y'all, Liddell Lewis is up at 2 a.m. worried about Tanya Burns. She is up writing a lying post that I said something, and it wasn't even me. So same time, while he burning down, going back and forth in the field, Liddell Lewis is making a post on social media about me, while the church is being set afire, set ablaze. There he goes. He's walking back. He's got something in his right hand, which is a can and a rag. So we're going to walk back, and you're going to see. Now, he's back there in the corner. Now, Liddell said she never gives St. Mark anything. So maybe she meant that. She cussed out Pastor Thompson not once, but twice. She cussed him out, told him, shots fired, shots fired. UFA pastor. Now, this is the council person of the 2nd Ward. St. Mark resides in the 2nd Ward. It's in her ward. Now there he goes with some more rags. See that in his left hand. See it in his left hand. And you're going to see him walk up there. Now, when you see that corner light up, he's going to take off running. And that fire going to poof back in his face. So if you have also any information, y'all, please call the Flint Police, or you can inbox me, and I will share that information with the ATF. So he's back there. This thing is getting ready to poof it up. But y'all, it's getting ready to get real bright over there. And you're going to see him take off running. But them flames going to get him. They're going to get him. So 1 week before St. Mark received, it was approved, Mayor Neely took over 2 months to approve it. Now they want to piecemeal the money. Instead of just giving the $25,000 straight to the food bank, they want to piecemeal it and micromanage it by giving it in about $3,000 sums, when just give it to the food bank. The church is not asking for it. I mean, you can't make this up. Mayor Neely this is just terrible. He should not be doing this. This is terrible. Let the food bank have it. That money goes to feed the community. So we're just slowing up because they want to feed the people. He's piecemealing the money now still. Had it sitting on his desk for over 2 months. And now we have no SNAP benefits. Okay, he's walking away with something, with a gas can. And so he's going to be back. And the camera's going to slip back. Look, there we go, walking away. And he's not running. Meantime, again, Liddell Lewis is making a post about Tanya Burns. Meantime, while the church is being vandalized, firebombed, 3 gasoline cans are being dumped into the building, Liddell Lewis is posting about me. There he goes, lit the match. Watch it, y'all. Jonathan, can we back that up just a little bit? And can you freeze it so you see the fire in the corner? Yeah, right at the fire part. Yeah. And so he lights it up. Meantime, Liddell Lewis, here he come. And then can you pause it right at the fire? Okay, pause it right when it hits. Stop. Now, I remind you, now he's right there in the fire. It's coming right back at him. Meantime, Liddell Lewis is making a post about Tanya Burns during this same time. You see the fire. He is engulfed. He's in the fire. That blaze came right back into him. Right. Karma is going to get them. This guy, I think, was being used. I wholeheartedly believe he has mental health issues. I don't want him to come up missing. It is alleged that he is the person. He was in the picture with Liddell. Okay, let's play it. That's him he's out there in the fire. He's going to take off running. There he go running. You can see up in the left-hand corner, you can see the fire as the light is showing onto the garage and on the other buildings on the house. And so the church is on fire. So at the church being on fire, after a while, you hear, so the alarm sets off. They do have an alarm system. So they thought that someone was breaking in. What happens is the devices that are on the doors and windows with the sensors, they only go to a certain level for freezing and for heat. And so those devices had faulted. They faulted because they had exceeded the heat. And when it exceeded the heat, it set it off that there was a problem with the door. So ring, ring, ring. It is the alarm company. We have an issue that's with your door and you're back at church. Come to find out, now that's the deacon there. And so look, you see all the light, there goes the fire. So those devices fault. And so they can only go up for freezing, to a certain below freezing, and a certain for fire. And I know this because I did alarms for over 30 years. I did for over 30 years and did security cameras for over 30 years and devices in Detroit public schools. I did the Temple Theater. I did many big projects along with residential and commercial and more. And so I do know what I'm doing with this. I do. And so when it faulted, they thought somebody was right. I said, no, those devices can only, when they exceed that. And another one, which if they had a have, which I need to tell them, they need to have some heat to rise sensors too, because those will sense the fire. Also with the smokes, which the smoke detectors, which measure for the smoke molecules, because this is what I did. Also design fire suppression systems. So at the same time, Liddell Lewis is making a post about Tanya Burns on social media. I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't want something to happen to this man, because I believe that he had no problems with the church or the individuals. This was personal. This was a personal attack that was made. It was personal. St. Mark had just received the 25,000 approved. Liddell didn't vote on it. She said she never would, and she didn't. She wasn't there at that meeting, so she didn't have to. Candace made a statement which she lied. Councilwoman Lewis says she supports us and she wish she was here to vote on it. Lie. So the church, he goes to the church a week before on August 24th, and then August 30th, the church is set on fire by an arsonist. He doesn't have, the person in that picture doesn't have a car. Three gasoline cans, some rags, a garbage bag. They said that he's homeless. How many homeless people have not? It was a nice garbage bags with a little yellow tie in them. I don't have them, but look, I want to know you had them when they checked your garbage, when they went out there and checked your garbage, because that's what they do. When you put your garbage out, they seen if you got the same kind of garbage bag that's put on your curb. Is that what you normally buy? I'm just saying. So that's what thorough investigations do. So it's not a coincidence. Same time the fire's been started, she is making a Facebook post about me at 2-something in the morning. Liddell has a strange infatuation with me. A very strange infatuation with me. Very, very strange. Very strange. By the way, I didn't know that I had a PPO on me until I was wondering what was so long, because my kids were concerned about the people when you speak the truth that consistently lie. So my children, I am licensed to carry, and I'm a damn good shot. They were like, we're going to get you another firearm. And I didn't know it was taking so long. So I went and got 2 new firearms, actually. So I'm not going to play and have conversation. Not at all. So Mark Julium 24, Julium 724 said, burning the church has nothing to do with hope and faith. God's church is within the man. Evidently, it is made known that throughout your time on council, you knows not the ways of God. Okay. So meantime, church is being firebombed. So there's been a lot of work of people, and I want to say thank you to the ATF and Lakowski and Vance. I appreciate them. I truly do. So listen, and y'all donate to Cash App, because that video was reduced. Put your Cash App up by Jonathan. He did all this work and clipped it and did all of that, and it was a lot of work, hours of work. He didn't get paid for this. So if we can donate, y'all show out for him, because he went through all of this video, and this is his church. He belongs there. He cares. He's a young man trying to make sure he's doing good for the community. He's saved. He was saved, sanctified, loves the Lord, and working for the church. He has went through all of this. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm saying, I'm not real easy. I'm very particular when I want something and how it flows. I worked so well with him with getting the video, and he knew what was going on, how to do it. Yep, I can do that. Okay, well, how do we need to do this? And when you work with someone, it's great. So this is him, and he has Eaton Media. It's $J Eaton Media. And working with him was just so easy, because I could say to him in some things that he's like, okay, and once you get a flow, because getting all that video, yep, I can do that. But what about this? Well, let's take that off. I need you to add this last part. Then he came with the idea, like, I'm glad he sped up the fact all the fire trucks coming at you. So I said, well, I just sped up all of that. So he's able to use his creativity. So I appreciate this. Y'all drop him some Cash Apps, because this is what was turned in also to condensing it down. to the authorities, and we needed Jonathan's help, and he showed out. So I appreciate him for the work that he's doing and helping. I appreciate this. Sean says someone must have told the arsonist people look for him. Hasn't been hanging downtown during the day. He's been on Ballinger and Flushing. Oh, that's interesting. He has to live over that way. He lived down the street from me. I'm just saying, it was a U-Haul truck in that corner picture. I'm just saying. And we know that Liddell Lewis does not like Pastor Thompson. She cussed him out at the public library, and she cussed him out in the studio in front of a group of people. And she cussed him out because she got upset because he simply said, thank you to Tanya Burns, you Johnny on the spot. I was literally out delivering pump station number 5 had went out. She had told off everybody in her ward. I don't have a shop vac on my back. Ain't my fault I can afford 2 houses. This is what the council person in the 2nd ward stated. I have other things to do. This job is part-time. She was nasty to her constituents when pump 5 failed. People have floating poop in their basement. Poop, urine. If you flushed it down the toilet, it was coming up through people's sewers. It was coming up through people's sewers. And when they called her, Liddell Lewis told people, I don't have a shop vac on my back. People were, the one guy, he came to council and he talked about, he says, I needed, I don't know where to go. I went to every news station myself because I needed help. Furniture floating, poop and urine floating, everything that was down the toilet. And so when we looking at that, so he called me, he says, hey, I had a couple residents who called me and said that they can't, they don't know what to do. Can you talk to them? Yeah. I called the city clerk. I called the city attorney. I said, hey, we got this. And then at that time, it was Attorney Kim. He was like, okay, Tanya, yeah, we'll get them to turn in the slips. So I went and got the slips, ran off a bunch of them, and I started handing them out to the residents because you got poop in your basement. That is, it's not healthy, and you're trying to get it out. And so he just said on 811 News Media Group, and in the room was several people. Mickey and Winters was in there, and some other people who heard her say, shots fired, shots fired. You a fake A, B, you ain't SHIT. She cussed him out. He was in the studio. Then she cussed him out again at the public library, can access to Audrey Muhammad, and security had to come out. So it's not a coincidence. She does not like, I don't feel it's a coincidence. I know at the same time this fire was being started, she had a Facebook post about me. So she has a weird obsession. Something's wrong with her. Okay, moving on. Moving on. So listen, y'all. Thank y'all for supporting. Thank y'all for your donations to Jonathan Eaton. And producer Jay is still in there. And thank you, Sheena Beckton, for the sign and everything that you have done. So we're going to go, look, we're going to move on because I did not have that playing in there, the video. It was not in there at all. I had not planned that. So I want to go on to the next one. So we are going to, and there's so much going on. And I'm sorry, Jonathan, but oh, we're not, we doing pretty good. Okay. We're going to do the next one, 810 Flint. 810 Flint, thank you to Xavier. So when they started throwing up that $50, my disbelief was just, I'm like, and if Tanya Burns can put up $50, this is the work. Girl, no. Just no. I want to put that video, 810 Flint, the $50 thing. And I'm like, you okay? It's 810 Flint said, quid pro quo. You can't do that. You put it up, put your money in your mouth and donate to the Y. Kiki could not go to the Y. Y'all have heard me state that she went to the Y out of town. Why? Because Kiki had stated that Leon had a relationship with a woman who works at the Y. She had text messages. Everyone's, well, y'all didn't see him, but everyone else, there are other people who've seen him. Her attorney has seen him. Other people have seen him. She has her mother and other people. So she couldn't go to the Y in Flint because Leon had a relationship with the woman he was sending text messages to. I'm going to send you some morning inspiration. She couldn't go there. So I was able to get her out of the county. I had to get her out of the county. She couldn't go to Flint's because there's a woman, as y'all heard him say at the council meeting, I work with the Y. YWCA, y'all should not be working with him. You should have no business working with him, and definitely not now. I'm going to donate 2,000. I'm going to donate 50. Well, y'all did a quid pro quo, which is y'all, that people that wrote y'all up. You can't do that. That means something for something else. But hold on. You got the video, Jonathan. If you do, can you put it up? Did I send that? But I know I sent that one to you. The $50 debacle. And I'm like, am I really watching this? Yes, we were. We were all watching that. Oh, where's that? Oh, the quid pro quo. Okay, so this is the let's play the video first. The quid pro quo, and then we will.
As someone that puts their time and their money where their mouth is, I'll definitely support it. I will support it in not only word but deed. If Councilwoman Burns will match my $50 donation to the YWCA, because this right here is how you support domestic violence victims. You put your money where your mouth is because they need supplies. They need support.
Request for information.
Please stop my time. Please, ma'am, you're out of order. Go ahead, ma'am. You're removed from the meeting. All right. So thank you. Ma'am, go ahead. Okay, that's your second warning. Thank you. So go ahead. Go ahead, Councilwoman, the 7th Ward.
I'm sorry. I was trying to understand what you were donating to.
I can hear you.
I was trying to understand what you were donating to. I was trying to understand what you were donating.
Okay,
to.
yeah. So in commemoration of Domestic Violence Month, I will support her resolution if we just don't do it in word, not in a politicized manner, but if we physically show that we're standing on business with domestic violence. So I want
Request for information.
That's not my time. I'm answering the question.
Right. Request for information.
Right. So I want to make sure I answer your question. So this is going directly to the YWCA to support their programs for domestic violence victims.
Request for information.
So, what is your request?
So you're saying if I will donate or match your 50?
Mm-hmm.
I've matched it by 1,000 because I've got the victim. I'm supporting and paying for her attorney that your abuser next to you.
Excuse me. That is not a point of order.
I would like for us to kind of stay on topic and talk about what's important here. And I will go ahead and match your donation.
Thank you, Councilwoman Mashat.
Also, I'll match as well.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Johnson. Thank you so much, Councilman
information.
Ms. Burns.
Request for information.
What is your request directed to the chair?
Can he use that toward Kiki Martin's attorney
thank
bill?
you. Ms. Burns. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Priestley. So, thank you.
Making a mockery of victims.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Johnson. And so we would like to encourage other council members to let's put their money where their mouth is when we begin to talk about helping domestic violence victims. Because we're going to stand on word. You go ahead and start my time so we can go and get out of here. Because it's all about not politicizing something, but standing on real business. So when we mean that we support someone, you open up your pocketbook as well as your mouth to get it done. So, I got you changed, Kim. I got you changed. So thank you so much, Councilwoman Mashat. This is how we support victims in real time, in real life. And I want to encourage those that are listening and those in the audience. please make a contribution in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month to the YWCA, because they have the population that we are going to support with this ordinance. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to call for the vote. All right.
Okay, you can't make that up. So put up the quid pro quo. So first of all, how do you support the victims? Number one, you don't beat them. The women on that council had no business giving any money with a quid pro quo. If you want to make a statement, you make a statement by removing his ass from on that council. One, he don't live there. Two, we're going to play what the prosecutor said, and the judge, and the police officer. It's not in denial. And it ain't personal. He brought it's business to the city. Quid pro quo. The Latin phrase quid pro quo means something for nothing. Or let me start that over, y'all, because that got me hot. Quid pro quo. The Latin phrase means something for something, this for that, and describes an exchange where one thing is given or received for another, implying a reciprocal relationship and a direct exchange of goods, services, or favors. Do they know that the people who be watching, they didn't turn them in? Y'all get your $50 back, because people done turned this in. What is y'all doing? LaShawn, stop following them. They have you felt you can't do a quid pro quo. Stop following them. Something is wrong with them. When you gave $50, it's a quid pro quo. You can't do that. Dennis didn't do it. Jonathan didn't do it. I didn't do it. The city attorney was over like, oh my God, I know this isn't happening. So what laws did they break? I think it's 117 and 118. Can we put that up? And so you can't do it. I'll vote on this if Councilwoman Burns gives me to match my money. We're in the middle of a vote. We're voting, about to vote, and they're taking up a donation if you vote, and pull the money out, put it up in the air, and Liddell thanks them for the money. Thanks them. Can you put up the one which I think you put up before you played the video? So quid pro quo. Liddell did do a quid pro quo, and she stated it. Not supporting you on that. You want to support that? Pay for Kiki's attorneys, okay? Pay for Kiki to be moved. Pay for Kiki to have extra money in her pocket. And Leon should be giving her the $2,000. Give it to your baby mama, Leon. That's what you do. Okay? That's what you do. So can you put that one up, Jonathan, if you got that one? I think you put it up before. And so when you do a quid pro quo, you can't do it. You're violating two Michigan state laws, MCL 117, I think MCL 118, I believe that it is. And when you're doing that, you're breaking the law. So any resident can actually sue. Any resident can actually sue and sue y'all. Anybody. When you did that, anybody can sue. And you put yourself up for and the city isn't responsible. And what happens is, well, you don't get a city attorney for this. So what does that mean? That means that the city is not liable. You're not entitled to an attorney. You're not entitled. Well, what they did, they're not entitled to qualified immunity. They knowingly should have known you don't do that, a quid pro quo, as they broke the law. They broke the law. It was clear. They broke it. And so when you break the law, which is what they did, there are issues. An attorney, which is like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And so Jerry was like, I just can't believe this. This is just ridiculous. I was in utter disbelief. Utter disbelief. I honestly was. Um, mm, I'm like, okay. Oh, thank you. So I'm going to thank you, John. So I need to go and read that. I'm like, first of all, it is very real. I have listened to the some of. I haven't listened to all of them. I mean, that's between her and her legal team, really. And I've heard him tell her, and not y'all heard, I'm gonna bust you in your mouth or whatever, blow your mouth out is it. So the Michigan Penal Code, 75117, public officer and bribery. You can't do it, which is a quid pro quo. So it says bribery of public office. Any person who shall corruptly give office or promise to any public officer, agent, servant, or employee after the election or appointment of such public office, agent, servant, or employee in or other therefore and after such public officer, agent, servant, or employee shall have been qualified or shall take his seat. Any gift, gratuity, money, property, or either valuable thing with intent while voting, you can't do it. I mean, she's basically said, and it's a 1182. You can't do that. You vote for this, put $50, I'll vote. I'll vote for it if you do 50. They start pulling out money. And Leon said, I support domestic violence. You support domestic violence or you commit domestic violence? You support it or you commit domestic violence or committed it. Two different things. And so you have these people who plan with people. You're doing a quid pro quo, and he gives $2,000. I guess he needs to quit stop taking. If his attorney Kiki, if you watching, you need to get this to your attorney to get his attorney, because he up here playing with the YWCA. You have to go out the county. I don't know if you listening or not. Get this to your attorney that he want to play with the YWCA. He support domestic violence. He got to be the stupidest person there is to do this little gag, this little trick. The stupidest person. You are charged with a felony, and you on there telling us you want to give $2,000. You support domestic violence. Come on now, come on. You know better. No, you obviously know because you did it. I'm gonna give $2,000. Tiny Burns, you got 50. Nah, because y'all did a quid pro quo, something for something. I'm not doing anything. And may y'all all who turned in $50, may y'all rest where, because you tried to be funny. Sometimes when you don't know what you're doing, you need to just stay out of stuff. When you don't know what you're doing and the mess that they doing, stay out of it, because these are some corrupt criminals. Corrupt. When Liddell votes to be her own fifth vote on 50,000, then 25,000. And she has that whole little shenanigans, which we'll get into it, because she dogged the staff. It is very true that the Department of Justice, and Clyde said the FBI was investigating the Flint Housing Authority. Clyde said the FBI was here during one of the meetings. Then you got the Department of Justice. Everybody quit in the planning department. The one person who was going to quit at the 30th, they asked him to stay a little longer. They said he didn't even have a job and quit. And everybody that saw all the illegalities over here is over there with the DOJ, I'm quite sure, talking. They had us give ARPA funds to this person's 501c3. Mayor Neely made us do it. They had us give money to this person who worked for city staff. Mayor Neely had us do it. Mayor Neely made us do the golf courses. Mayor Neely told us to not do the contract. All the stuff that didn't happen. DOJ over there. And guess what the whole department did? Quit, just about quit. So anybody think it's I want to have mayor. No, it's a polarizing thing. You had a whole department of youth with talented people. Talent, that's also the business. Talented group of people. Quit. Because talent in Flint is not appreciated. It's do as I say. I'm gonna hold your job over you. So let's go on to the other part, because something that's just you can't make it up. So let's play Leon L. Alamean's Disturbing Behavior Exposed. And that's when he was shaking his head like this. He took his glasses off again. I guess he was going to jump on her mama. I guess he was going to fight Kiki's mother, Miss Jackson. And he talked about it. So let's put in Leon's Disturbing Behaviors, the next video, please. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. Just like you did with John Cole. Yeah. I mean, you look at the company they keep. All these people have something in common. John Cole, right, Tanya Jones. So when you have it, just pop it in there, Jonathan. Just pop it in there. I appreciate the work that he's done, because it was a lot of work for that fire video. Jonathan, you are appreciated. You are. John Cole was around. I mean, he took the status. He was in a whole Mayor Neely hat and T-shirt, propped up. He posed. He posed. He posed for the camera.
I want to state for the record that Leon he don't stay at 606 Mott Street. Police officer testified, well, he didn't testify. He said to us that the only people that stay there is the lady and her dog. I also want to state this too. My grandson, I spoke with a counselor, and he's terrified of his daddy. He's terrified. He witnessed his daddy beating on his mom. Her other kids do not want to go over there where he stay at. Turn around, her daughter went back to stay with her in June. Leon kept on trying to come in on her in the bathroom, in her bedroom, not knocking. He's a sex predator too. And I want to mention the lady who stay on 606. He said they were partners. Seen them at Tim Hortons. So y'all want to keep a sex offender, a predator on y'all council? When y'all gonna wake up? And to you, Miss, I ain't gonna even call you a Miss, Liddell, since I know that you the one talking about coming to drag my daughter out, I wish you would've. I wish you would've, baby. Because you less of a woman to deal with a demon from hell. You less of a woman. All y'all sitting up here with this welfare dingling going around here. All y'all want is him. You less of a woman. You less. And you less of a woman to allow him to sit on that council. No, he's claimed he stay over there with a sex offender who mess with kids. He took the joy out of my grandkids. He took the smiles away from them. And like I said, I wish you would have came that day. And I've been waiting on him. It ain't no threat. It's not no threat, I promise you. And I'm gonna say this. Her daddy getting up here talking that mess, apologizing to yeah, look at the clock. Apologizing to him, I'm not the one. I am not the one. Y'all met Squeak. Y'all met her. So whenever y'all ready to bounce, y'all know where I stay at.
So the Mount Morris Township Police received a call and were dispatched to an address. And when they got there, there was a woman who said that she had been assaulted by her longtime live-in boyfriend. And she had lacerations on her face and bruising, consistent with her claim that she was punched in the face. She had a mark across her neck, consistent with her statement that she had been choked. And she said she had been dragged out of the room by her hair. Her statement to the police was that Mr. El Alamein became angry because she was looking at her emails and he didn't like that. So the police went, took her statement. It was corroborated by the physical evidence, brought it to our office, and we determined that there was probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause that Mr. El Alamin committed the crime. Domestic violence is an extremely serious crime, and I take a very harsh view of it. In my 20 plus years on the job, we've been very vigorous in our prosecution of men who beat up women. I don't like those kind of situations. In this case, the count for assault with intent to do great bodily harm, strangulation, is a felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison. It's alleged he did choke her. And so if that is sustained beyond a reasonable doubt in court, he could be sentenced to up to 10 years in prison. Count 2 is for domestic violence, which is an assault and battery upon your girlfriend, spouse, husband, whatever. And that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days. You know, I get asked that question a lot, and in this case, I've been asked that a lot. And the answer is, it doesn't matter who the suspect is, everybody's treated the same. We take the facts that are given to us by the police, and we apply the law. And in this case, it's resulted in a GBH count and a domestic violence count. If I had a staff large enough that we could attend every arraignment, we would be able to take a position on bond with the judge, but we don't have that ability because, you know, we're short-staffed as it is. We struggle to cover all the courts and the trials and the hearings. We can't be at arraignments. There are times when bonds are too low, and there are times that, frankly, bonds are excessive. But it's up to the judge, and it's based on the court rules. And for the most part, judges do a very good job setting the appropriate bond. I want women especially to know that they don't have to live under abuse situations. There's help out there. The prosecutor's office is one place, the sheriff's department, the YWCA is a great resource. They have a shelter to help women who are in dire straits, and the national hotline is out there. You can call it 24/7 and get some kind of relief if you're in a bad situation. So we're going to have a probable cause hearing, also called a preliminary examination, at which time we have to prove that there's reasonable belief the crime was committed, reasonable belief that Mr. El Alamin committed the crime. That's what's known as probable cause. If the judge determines we've established that, the case is bound over to the circuit court for trial.
I recall that he did punch her multiple times in the face. I don't recall what room that was in. When I read first on the scene, she stated she had pain on the back of her head. And that's when I also seen lacerations across her nose, bump on her face, and blood was also showing.
Regardless where it happened, the evidence is clear from her testimony that the defendant choked her with his right forearm and was hitting her in the backside of her head. The officer observed some injuries. There's sufficient probable cause to bind the defendant over on the charges of the complaint.
So we were in the courtroom. Thank you to 810 Flint. Xavier, you rock. Because it is true. So the women on that council who support him, shame on y'all. You had a judge, you had a prosecutor, a judge, and you had a police officer who had been sequestered, who corroborated her story is true. The officer stated, and so did the prosecutor, the evidence corroborated her statement. And you supported a man on that council? Mayor Neely, you too. They all running next year. Take note who's supporting a domestic violence victim. He should have stepped down. He don't live there. I mean, you couldn't get something worse that in Flint that the politics is just dirty wrong. People who commit domestic violence are more likely to have grown up seeing a parent or father beating on a mother, or and if it's a son, he's more likely to commit the act of domestic violence on his partner because it was normalized with him as a child. With young women, young girls, it is more likely that when they grow up, that if they saw their father do this, that it's normalized, that they would be with a person who's like their father, who's an abuser, because they've seen this before. It becomes familiar, that feeling. They may not understand it. That's why I say get therapy, get help, and get out. Now they mad because I'm speaking about domestic violence, but their asses are voting to keep his ass on there. You heard what the prosecutor said. You heard what the police officer, Mount Morris Township Police, where he was living. Mount Morris. It's not Flint, that's Mount Morris. You heard what the judge said. There's enough evidence to bound it over. Normally it's 3 weeks, y'all. 3 weeks. How he get 90 days bound over? Come on. I will never support a person with domestic violence. And if it was my child, I can tell you this, my daddy, and I got 2 lovely daddies, love them more than anything. They would kill a gnat, drowned. They look right there, I'll drown a gnat over my daughters. Both of them. And so when we look at how they support him, and as long as he's on there, this is a problem. Your support. LaShawn, listen to the prosecutor. LaShawn, listen to what they said. Y'all not going to get elected next year. People are coming together. The Colored Law Coalition, women ain't playing. People started lining themselves, getting themselves ready. You don't support people who beat on women. And then I'm going to throw $2,000. I'm going to throw $2,000 at it. I support domestic violence. No, you commit domestic violence. There's a difference. You commit domestic violence. And then to make a mockery out of it, you decide to, I got 50 on it. No. So let's put up the next one because we need to talk about these things. Yes, Tyne Jones, he was mocking Kiki Mama. We're going to do that one too.
Ms. Raquel. So Sue Peters, she's been with the foundation for a long time. She knows Flint. She worked with Flint. She's heavily engaged. And we look forward to working with her. When we're talking about leveraging dollars and doing things for our ward, these are the people to talk to. These are the people that are moving and shaking. So we would definitely like to give them their flowers. And we would like to congratulate each of them on their different phase in life. But right now, I would like to remind residents to please follow the Flint second.
And to that individual with the bad wig on back there that continuously come up here talking that nonsense as if you know my child and all of this. Guess what? Guess where my child is right now? Guess who just got full custody of his child? Me. Guess where my son's at right now? At my house. So I'm far from whatever you want to try to paint this picture as me to be. You need to go get you some business. Anyway, I'm in support of survivors. Like I said, I've been working with them since 2015 with the Y and other organizations and so forth. I'm just not in support of how the spirit of how it was brought for individuals to try to play these political games and then cast me out as if I'm something that I'm really not and something I didn't do.
I am Kiki's mother.
And I told you, but you keep going. I ain't trying to keep hearing that shit. That shit is in my past. I'm trying to lay the fuck down. I'm tired. I didn't know about the shit. Fucking tired. I didn't leave y'all to play y'all for shit, and I didn't plan no people popping up here. My fucking trip was already planned. I wasn't giving that shit up. Things was fucking straight. Now I did what I'm supposed to do. I did what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
We still want protected, nigga. You just fucking left us.
Kiki, well, why don't you just go find somewhere you can be protected then since you feel that way? If I didn't protect y'all, if I didn't go get a fucking PPO and take you all down there and do the same shit. You come back on
on some bullshit. I just the picture she got with you on there. That's the date you fucking with. Damn, man. See, this is my fucking shit. Leave me the fuck alone. I will. Tell me right fucking now. Stop going to your shit.
Now, Wayne Leon Wilson, when you're ready, come see me. Come see me. You coward, demon ass nigga. You is a coward. And that one right there, she damn sure don't look like your mama, Lily Wilson. Why she over protecting your ass? Excuse my French, but I'm telling you like it is. And since you want to send pictures of my kids and everybody else, come on. And y'all talking about the residents, he know where everybody stay at. Sending people to people's houses. But I'm waiting on you to come to mine. I'm waiting. And your neighbor at where you stay at, 3375 Sherman Street, while you pulled the gun out on my child June the 18th, 2023, when my grandson was out there and he admitted you did it. You sorry piece of shit. I hope you die in hell.
Domestic violence is serious. And we talk about the statistics of it. I don't want it to be taken as serious. As an elected official, you are held to a higher standard. That you cannot be a legislator and then break the laws you are meant to correct, to protect. You cannot be a legislator and break the laws that you took an oath to protect. You can't. And how they just make a mockery of everything is disgusting. You know, it's disgusting. And the fact that this mother has to defend her daughter, and you go through different stages. You go through stages. And the hardest part is, and it's certain types of abuse that you will go through domestic violence. Financial, that means they're withholding, they're not paying any bills, or they're putting you in a bind to where you're stuck. So financially, other physically, and verbally, you will go through so many stages that sometimes you ask yourself, how do I get out? And just when they think they got you isolated, they completely turn on you and change. Your days are not easy. If you have children, they know they have you, because how are you going to take care of your children? You need to have shelter, you need food, they need doctor's visits. How are you going to protect your children? And some of them are very good abusers. Some are, they may not, they'll hit you where you can't see the bruises. They'll punch you to where you're not going to see them on, your arms or shirt, or, they know how to do it. And then financial is like one of the last part. You're so dependent on them, because by then, most of the bills and things are paid by them. And not just in marriages, and, if you're cohabitating with someone. And so I'm going to keep speaking out about Kiki. I'm not letting it up. I'm not stopping. I'm not going to. It triggers me to see him on this council. It triggers me to see him. It triggers me. Why? And I have not said this public, because this has always been about Kiki. I was a victim. I quit my job. I stayed home. I had no money. I stopped my career. And I remember the kids, he came to pick up my kids. And my kids were little, 3 and 8. And I remember him the kids had their little suitcases packed at the door. And he wanted to come in the house, and he could not come in the house because I had to get a personal protection order. My divorce took almost 4.5, 5 years. It was the largest divorce in that county's history. And I remember him just attacking me. And the kids next door, who the little girl, the young lady, would babysit my kids for me. And we were fighting on the front lawn. Women cannot beat a man. You cannot. You don't win. You don't win. I had on cream pants and a teal chenille sweater, long sweater. And my kids were in the window watching their dad attack me. So I'm not giving up on Kiki because my fathers went to beat the shit out of my ex. My dads protected me, went to every court. And I was in court literally every week. Every week. And it got to the point where it was so bad when people say, why is she fighting? Because I was Kiki. That when I stayed, because I wanted my family together. I quit my job. I'm baking cookies. We dyeing eggs. I'm doing everything, but nothing I did was good enough. Nothing I did was right. Because it wasn't about me, because I found out he was messing with the girl next door to where he worked. And my prayer was to God coming back from Thanksgiving, that God, when you are ready to reveal it to me to where I can handle it. Because I knew women have an intuition. And he was a good cheater, y'all. He was an excellent cheater. I'm gonna be honest. He was good. And then I found out everything later. Because I did not know. Maybe I just couldn't see it. I remember coming home and got off the expressway, and my kids had fallen asleep. It was Thanksgiving, and I went to my family does big dinner. We spend family time, and so I seen our white SUV at this woman's home. I didn't say anything. I went home, put my kids to bed, put their PJs on. I thought he was supposed to be at work. He was not. He was putting in work, but it wasn't at the job. And I remember taking everything off of, just doing like in a long sweep, like off the dresser that was his. I took everything, we had like an insert and I'm in the master bedroom. And I took everything off of there and I put it in garbage bags. And I took everything out of, we had 2 walk-in closets in the master bedroom. I took all the clothes and put them downstairs. And when he came home, I stayed up. I sat in my living room. I lit the fireplace. It's a natural gas one. I remember just sitting in the chair. Well, I wasn't like angry. And because I had asked God to reveal it to me. And I put all his shit in the basement. And I said, this is where, when he got home, I said, this is where you reside. And he was like, I'm not sleeping in the basement. I'm not going to be there. What are you doing? I said, and I told him about what happened. And at this point, I was done. I had been really done for probably like a year before Christmas. I remember being angry. And my dad was walking in the door, and we had a long ranch house. And he was saying, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And I remember my dad's, walking in. And when my dad was walking in, me and him were literally in a fight in my bedroom, in the master bedroom. And I'm like, I can't do this. That was my point of saying, I'm not going to fight a man. So it's personal. It's personal to me. I didn't have a job. I made so many and brokered so many deals with the Lord. And my friends on here watching, they know because I've shared it in my family. I didn't have a job. I leaned to the Lord. It was times to where I said, you know what, Lord, if I write a check on Wednesday, hopefully they don't cash it till Friday. I left and I had nothing. He did his children so dirty, that the judge told him, and the divorce was over 4 years. The judge told him, you're going to pay while you're the divorce because he just drug it out. But then he realized, oh, I messed up. Let's go to counseling. No. The judge had him pay child support. He had to pay for groceries every week. I think I had a $250 a week grocery allowance. He had to pay for my car payment, my car insurance. He had to pay for oil changes. He had to pay for haircuts or to get the kids' hair, the haircuts for my son and for my daughter and for me to get our hair done. Because the judge was like, you're not going to come in here and play with my system. Judge Heathcott. He had to pay. He was like, well, I'm going to be broke. The judge didn't care. And see, you got to a point where I was lucky to get a judge who said, this woman quit her whole career, was raising your children, and you're not going to do this. Genesee County needs to pay attention. And when I see how Kiki is being done, you have to fight. And if it's days I got to be her strength for her, I'm going to do it. Because I had a daddy that wouldn't have come in there and talked at the podium if he was an elected official. My daddies if that had happened, because my daddies went to his job and it was about to be a funeral. You don't put your hands on women. You don't. And I'm not going to stop talking because somebody has to speak for her when she can't speak for herself. It's personal. Whatever reason she sent me that email, and it wasn't even in her name. God sent her to speak and for me to help her. And if that is my assignment, I'm taking it up, God, and I'm not abandoning her. But for the women on that council who support him and he beats women, and then you tell a story that you know of another woman that has been beat and you support his black ass, you're wrong. You're wrong. Every day is a hard day for her. So when I'm telling her, today ain't your tomorrow, it's not your next week, it's not your next 5 years, it's not your next 20 years. She's trying to make it through the next hour. And then she got to watch women on that council support him. Hardest part is when you leave. When you leave and they know you're gone, that's when the attacks get bad. Literally, my neighbors called the police. They called the police. I didn't know at the time. I had to, the kids had next door called the police as my two children at the time of 3 and 8 were looking out the window. And I was literally on my back and he was over me. He had we were fighting and look, as a kid, I guess you don't forget stuff, not since a teenager. And when I had taken karate classes, so he was above me and I'm just up in his face. And so I asked for a sergeant and the sergeant came. He was there to pick the kids up. No one was at my house. I never had anybody. My kids never saw anybody until I got married. They never met anybody. Never met one person until I got married. And the sergeant, I asked for a sergeant from the police department. And he said, because they weren't going to do anything. And the sergeant, they took pictures and they said, well, it looks like you got the best of him. So at the scene, he had no business, So when I speak for Kiki, I am Kiki. I'm Kiki about a couple decades before Kiki. So when I speak and say Kiki is somebody's mother, somebody's daughter, she is. Kiki is love. Each domestic violence person is born to a mother and a father. And so when you attack a woman, you attack a child, and it stays. When I went through my divorce, my parents and my dad never hit my mother. I remember my dad getting so mad one time, and he hit the wall. And during my divorce, my dad, he says, baby, I just need to apologize to you. I never hit your mama. And I would tell him, like, Dad, I remember when you hit the wall, it was by the bathroom on the second level of our house. He says, I was wrong. I should have never done that. My daddies were there. when I say, and I was in court so much that me and my attorney were best friends. So I am Kiki. 25 years ago, 1999. And so when we talk about supporting her, we have to support, and it has this no gray area. So he triggers me. When I look down at him, it triggers me. It triggers me. And I didn't go through what Kiki went through. Mine was not like hers. It was not. The story she tells, it takes her a while because she can't, and when she's telling the story, she's reliving the story. So that's why my fight is so strong, because I'm not the person in the same situation I was in 1999. I'm not. And that's why when I tell her, you will not always go through that. But when women support and they don't, I know what the signs are. When she called me, when she emailed me, she never thought, and she didn't know me, that she was going to have somebody who was going to fight for her. And the Color Law Coalition women, when I took a survey, I think it was 10 of us at the table, every single one of the women except for one had experienced domestic violence in one form or another, or all. Every single woman. It is underreported and people don't talk about it. They don't talk about it. This is about Kiki and Kiki's support. And I don't want y'all to give up on her, because I'm not. Please don't give up on her, because she needs every ounce of support. Only in Flint. And I'm telling you, I remember the judge saying, Judge Heathscott, when she said to him, I remember I passed out on the stand and we had to take a break, because when you relive it, it's so much. And to watch Kiki when I was in that courtroom, it makes a difference when you're looking out and you see someone you know. And I'm like, well, let me make sure she can see me, that my support for her is unwavering. Because I know I was able to look out and see my daddy. Kiki's daddy was not there. My daddies were there. Arthur Port was there and Kenny Harrison was there. My daddy's was there. And so keep her in your prayers and pray for these council members who don't see any error in their ways. Because if I had did that, or if Jonathan or Dennis, we're going to say for men, had did that, they would remove them, because he can be removed for just cause. He don't live where he lived. And so when I see him there and I know he live on my street, I'm not talking like way down or anything. I'm not. And so it triggers me. So I'm not going to stop supporting her. He doesn't live there. He shouldn't even be there. But to hear her tell me, and I was in the examination room. I stepped out when she put her gown on. I came back in. And then I took pictures of her bruises. Me, her, and her mother were in the examination room of Hurley Hospital. We left about 5:30. Saw the bruises. I've seen the bruises from the other times she went to the hospital. It's not the first time. She's got pictures. Genesee County and Saginaw County are not the same. That judge hammered him, and she was not playing. When she said it, she said it. I remember my ex's, one of the women he was messing with went and got a PPO on me. I'm like, she went and got a PPO on me. I'm like, you, and one of the things that they make you do, they mess with your housing. And that's why the judge made him pay everything. Because she says, okay, you want to play with her housing? Then you know what? I'm taking your entire check. I'm not going to play with you. And I remember I said, you know what? I'm going to fight the PPO. I told my attorney. And he was like, well, do you want me? I said, well, no, you don't have to go. Because at this time, literally for almost 5 years, I had, going through this. And I said, I can go. I did not know ahead of time. So when I got there, the judge was saying, he said to the woman, He says, you do realize that she is married, that he is now residing with you. You had a relationship with him. And according to him, some law that you cannot file a personal protection order. Now, the other part that I did not know was surprise. And I was like, oh, it's some, you feel like you're being redeemed. There was some redemption because the judge said, you're messing with another man's wife, and how dare you come in here to get a personal protection order with what this woman has been through. I was like, there is a God, because you don't want to raise your head up in what you go through, and Kiki can't raise her head. He pulled this little magic wand, and Genesee County just playing around. Saginaw County didn't play. They didn't play. And Kiki's having to fight every day and ask what is going on. Keep her in your prayers. And she has a GoFundMe too. I'll put the GoFundMe up on my page. I will put the GoFundMe up. And I know how hard it was, literally. And I had never told my parents of the arguments and everything. I didn't grow up in an abusive household. I just wanted, my parents divorced early. I wanted my kids to grow up with their father. And so I was willing to go a step that was not required, which was to deal with more than one form of domestic violence. And when you stop connecting with them, the marital bed, they lose their mind, I'm telling you. And that's what Kiki did, is what she told me when he started walking in her daughter's bedroom. I didn't have those problems, but I know women who have when I've been in support groups. It's a long way to work yourself back. And so when you do, you protect yourself. You don't allow anybody to come after your peace anymore. You don't. And you don't keep it a secret. So for her speaking out, she needs your support, everyone that's on here. She needs your support. She needs you. Now, I can only do so much, but she needs all of you. I will put her GoFundMe up on my page and asking that people support it because she needs it. She needs it. So we're going to go on to the next one with his little rules. So can you put up the little blue one where it shows like gray, blue, purple, whatever it is, because he was showing his behind up there. So if that one can be the next one, please.
Thank Ms. Raquel for all of her service. And at the same time, we also would like to welcome Ms. Sue Peters. She is leaving her position at the Community Foundation, and she's taking over for Ms. Raquel. So Sue Peters, she's been with the foundation for a long time. She knows Flint. She worked with Flint. She's heavily engaged, and we look forward to working with her. When we're talking about leveraging dollars and doing things for our ward, these are the people to talk to. These are the people that are moving and shaking. So we would definitely like to give them their flowers, and we would like to congratulate each of them on their different phase in life. But right now, I would like to remind residents to please follow the Flint 2nd Ward.
Okay. And so I want people to know, I sent you one, so if we can put up I like to give statistics. Y'all know how I like to do. I did not plan on sharing my story. I said I would never share it. I did. I hope it helps somebody that, things can and will change. You got to pray and get some people to support you. And if you know somebody who's in a domestic violence situation, get help. Get help for them. We put up the hotline. So facts about domestic violence. Domestic violence and sexual assault are often seen as women issues, but in fact, they are commonly issues with public health issues. So 1.3 million women, which is about 835,000 men are physically assaulted by an intimate partner annually in the United States. So for women, it's 1.3,835,000 if it's a man. 1 in every 3 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. 1 in 3. And my girlfriends, when I talked to them when they went to college, that they've dealt with date rape, domestic violence, and other issues, which, now we're talking about. And if it opens up the lines of communication and I can and we can help people, I'm going to do it. Every 20 minutes, every 20 people experience physical violence by an intimate partner. Every minute, 20 people experience. 1 in 15 children are exposed to intimate partner violence each year. That's a boyfriend, a husband. It can even be a wife. So when we look at the children, that's the one in the bottom left-hand corner, that 1 in 15 children experience this from it being a partner or their husband. And 90% of these children are eyewitnesses of this violence. 90%. I listened to a video with Kiki's son and Leon's son asking, why did daddy do that, mama? Mama, you okay? Mama, why did daddy hit you? Mama, why is he throwing that stuff out the door? And this is a fact. And the women on that council are supporting him. This ain't no personal shit. You know, this is public. He's a public official. He's a public official. I had to call a person who I never knew her sister had been killed by her partner. And she told me, I said, hey, I'm calling to check on you. Are you okay? Because it triggered her. She says, Tanya, it was my sister was killed. And she kept going back. And my grandmother said, she got to be ready to leave. And so he had slashed her tires the day before. And she had asked, well, did she go get her tire fixed? And everybody said, well, no, we didn't hear from him. We haven't heard from her today. We haven't heard from her. They went over. She says, Tanya, I knew she was dead. She went over to the house. And they went to the house, and her sister was dead. Her sister was dead. Because people were like, well, she was been upset. I'm like, let me call her. And I called her. And she's like, well, thanks, boo, for checking on me. Yes, that pisses me off. Yes, it pisses me off. And it happened. It happened. I did not know, because it's so personal that people don't talk about it. Mayor Karen Weaver, 2.5 years ago, her cousin, which is her first cousin, his daughter was killed. He was going to pick her up the same day. It was in St. Louis. He was retired from the military. She was getting a divorce. She had 2 children prior from her prior marriage. And when they got married, they had a child together. I believe the child was 1. He had been threatening her. She had a personal protection order. He didn't care. You know, those are, some people say they just worth the paper that they're on, in St. Louis. And Karen called, and, you know, she was upset. And I was like, well, what's going on? She's like, he killed her. He killed her. He shot her and killed the kids. Are you hearing me? He killed the kids. He took the baby to his mother's. But he killed her and the kids and then killed himself. So it's touching people that, you know, if it's touched Mayor Karen Weaver, if it's touched me, it's touched Kiki, it's touched the one person, I ain't gonna say her name because I never said I would tell her story. It touches people, and we got to stop protecting abusers. I'm not protecting you if you hit on women or men. I'm not doing it. Keep your hands to yourself or leave. Leave. It's okay to fall out of love. Leave. Leave. And he literally, the day her father was picking and moving her, he killed her and her 2 children that she had had from a prior marriage. And then killed himself. took the child that they had, gave her to the mother. So domestic violence is serious. Don't take it for granted. Don't expect everybody's going to be a good person like you are, because everybody ain't a good person. They're just not. So keep Kiki in your prayers. Keep her in your prayers. I wish I had that, because I did ask Mary Weaver, could I share the story? And she said, absolutely share the story, because we need to stop this mess. You know, these people need to be protected. I think this is it, actually. You can't make this stuff up. So, I want to talk about those with this, and we may get, so people are talking about the SNAP benefits, and that people will not have the SNAP benefits, and it is a serious thing. People are going to go hungry. St. Mark's is still waiting to see if they're going to stop giving them money in increments. The city has some kind of a twice a month you get a box. It's not real clear what it is, but they have a box thing that they're giving away. Tomorrow, Monday, which is Bethel Church, I was able to secure $50,000 for Bethel for food access, and then I gave another almost $15,000 of my ward money, thinking and making sure that they were funded, because the money had run out well over a year ago, year and a half ago. And Monday, every Monday is you better line up early. You can get food at Bethel Church. They start at 10 o'clock, but people line up, y'all, 6:30, 7 o'clock. And SNAP benefits, I don't believe, have been distributed yet to people. And so if you need food, come to Bethel, come early. There is going to be a line, and you can get food there. On Wednesdays is Asbury Church. Thank you. Asbury Church. And then Thursday is Greater Holy Temple, which is on Dort Highway. So approximately, just so that we know, because I like to deal with facts. In dealing with the facts, we know that many people have food insecurities and often go with having home, also have problems with home insecurities. But one thing we need to make sure that we know that approximately 41.7 million people receive SNAP or Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program assistance. They do, which benefits on the average each month in the fiscal year. That was for 2024, was about 41.7 people. And so we're going to have a lot of people who are going to need this food. So, which is about 12.3% of the U.S. population. There are individuals who rely on SNAP to afford groceries, and often include children, elderly persons, or people with disabilities. And so when people say, well, they need to go to work, the elderly can't, and people with disabilities can't. So to the mean people, stop being so mean and nasty. There's money set aside for this. We are America. We're supposed to be the #1 country in the world. We should not let people be going without medical and without food. We should not. There is no reason why any person in the United States should be going without food. Absolutely no reason. None. And so if you need food assistance, Bethel Church, line up tomorrow. You come early. You can get it. It's every Monday. Also, if you need to be checked for COVID or anything else, they do have COVID testing that is there. You can also get tested for cholesterol. So you have testing. So it's not just they try to act like SNAP benefits is for Black people, and That's what it's been touted to being. No, it's for people who need food, who are hungry, and seniors and the elderly also need it. They need it also. And so if you need food, make sure you come early. Monday, Bethel. And then St. Mark is supposed to have one on Wednesday, and then Asbury too. I will post it. And then also Thursday is Greater Holy Temple. And so we don't know how the court said they got to pay them, but we don't know when. So if you need a meal or you need some food, and there's other food pantries, you may need to Google it, but those are ones. I do know that Bethel is funded. They are well funded to take care of the community, but it's on the first come, first served basis. First come, first served basis. So that is important. And we're figuring it out. No child should go hungry in America. And that's why I was questioning Dr. Abdul El Sayed, because he feels the same way. Every person should receive medical attention. Every person should be able to eat. How you going to tell a person that's 96, go get a job, granny? She done probably 2 hip replacements, 2 knees replaced. She owned a walker and would go get a job. It's everyone's benefits. And so let people, and many people are working poor. If you work in 3 jobs just to get, to take care of your basic bills. Groceries has went up. Our consumers' energy, utility bills have gone up. Water is high. And look, in Flint, you really shouldn't be using. I have never taken a bath, but I shower. That's it. Not in this water. I don't soak in the Flint water. No. Nope. Don't do that one. And so you have to make sure from city council all the way up to our county, our senators, our congresswomen, our congress people, our senators, our president, we have to make sure we start voting. Voting matters. If whoever you're talking about is not talking about doing what they should be doing, and we have to judge them on what they've done and what they're doing. Everyone has a right to eat and should have medical attention and be able to see a doctor, receive medical care. So that is something that is important. So those are the locations. And also watch your news and go into your news, because you're going to see a lot of that actually on there in regards to where you can get food from. I do want to put up, can you put up the town hall meeting? So on November the 15th, you go over to Arthur Woodson's page. I'm sorry, November the 18th. November the 18th, 5:30 to 7:30 at the Gloria Coles Flint Library. That's on Kersley Street. No, hold on, it's 2 dates. My bad. Monday, November the 10th, 5:30 to 7:30. It's a town hall meeting at Michigan State University, 200 East 1st Street. And then Tuesday, November the 18th, from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Gloria Coles Library. You can go there. There is a town hall meeting that is there. It is on Arthur Woodson's page, and you can go there. So he's been working on the cancer cluster study dealing with the water. So find out more about the cancer feasibility study. So on November 10th and November the 18th, can you put the flyer up? And if you can put that up for me. So if you want to find, thank you. So this is the flyer. It is on Arthur Woodson's page also. So November the 10th and November the 18th. Thank you, Jonathan. It's the cancer town hall meeting. And it says, find out more about the cancer feasibility study. Your voice matters. Take the FC3 community survey. And so it is sponsored by the National Minority Quality Forum, CBOP, Greater Health Coalition, and Genesee Plan. So November 10th and November the 18th, asking for you to support this. This is something we can no longer afford to sit out and not do anything. Why? You end up with a president the Congress and House that don't even want to make sure you can get help. Your health care, some people health care is rising 5 times what they were paying or more. 5 or more. And so when we look at this and people can't afford to feed their kids, no. Start voting for people who care about people. Start that. We had 10 children killed in our city because of gun violence in 2024. And you don't hear this administration say nothing. 6 of them died. I'm sorry, 10 were shot, 6 died. Some were in their homes, in their bed, or while they were sleeping. But attend this, please. So November 10th and November 18th. So we're going to get off here. And I thank each and every one of y'all for being on here. I know we on here late. And I'm gonna get off. I am going to get off. So look, my nails, Berta baby, my nails are not done. Girl, look, I done broke several of them. I broke that one too. So I did. So I will be at some point getting my nails done. So listen, I will put Kiki's GoFundMe up on my page. Please support her, because it's not uncommon that, and it is actually common, and as Taylor would tell you when she worked in domestic violence, she worked for the Y, that they would have to give up the children while the moms were in their care, because you do things because you don't know. You get so low and so depressed that you're not making it. When you are beaten down mentally and physically and financially, beaten down mentally, physically, and financially, Kiki is fighting for her life and for all of her children's life. She needs your support. I will put her GoFundMe up on my page. And Berta baby, it's more than just a middle finger. And look, I need to get them done, girlfriend. So, and I am this week. And so I look forward to my visit. If the Michigan State Police are watching, just call me when you're outside, because sometimes I may not hear your soft knock because the doorbell don't work. So just call me. Hey, I'm outside. Can you? Yeah, I can absolutely talk to you. So I look forward to my conversation with the Michigan State Police. I will not have tea and crumpets. I don't do crumpets, but we can have stimulating conversation. We can talk about maybe ask them to investigate Leon, who lived down the street, if it's a he or a she. I'm just saying, because he don't live in his ward. I mean, he live in my ward. He live in his own ward. So I have no feelings for him. I find it despicable, deplorable for a man who men who hit on women and then mock the YWCA. I'm gonna give 2,000. I support domestic violence. No, you committed domestic violence. It's a big things, big differences. So to my moderators, Patrick, Gina, Sheena Beckton, who did the intro and the outro, she did the scenes. I appreciate her for it. And Avis Hopkins, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I want to say thank you to producer Jay. He only calls himself Dr. J, producer Jay, for being in the comments too. I want to say thank you to Jonathan, who was producing the show also. And we got many great things to come. So Jonathan, don't forget, y'all, you can donate to Jonathan too, which is $. I don't remember. It's down at the scroll. Jonathan on the spot with that. You can donate to $ J Eaton Media at Cash App, J Eaton Media. So I planned on doing 2 hours, y'all. And we're going to have a part 2. I don't know what other day, because there's some other things I want to cover. I want people to be aware voting matters. I want people to understand that there are people who will get out there and do what they say and stay away from the ones who don't. I made sure I stayed committed to what I ran on. Truth, transparency. I'm even showing y'all my busted up nails now. And I ran on crime and blight. Those things I'm very passionate about. I want to say thank you to the Greater Health Coalition, for they are over. We voted to give them $1 million. I think what it was 18 months for their program, because we have an opioid crisis. I have one in my ward. I have one. And so I want to say thank you to former Senator Adanek, for meeting with me also and going over some of the things. It's funny because me and him researched the same program. It's like, oh, you know about the, I know. I said, yeah. He's like, well, I got a book you should read. And I want to thank him for allowing me to read the book. When I return it, it will be dog-eared and it may have some notes on the edges because that's what I do. I'm a reader. You know, educating ourselves is powerful. And we have to share that. So if you have something, share it with your mother, your grandmother, your nieces, your nephews. Kids are sponges. Start teaching them at home. Schooling begins at home. Schooling begins at home. So make sure you share that. When you go vote, take your kids, educate them, ask them what's important to them. Schooling begins at home. And so to each and every one of you, I appreciate you for spending your time with me tonight. And we hadn't did a show in a long time. I will let you know when we get our next show, and it went pretty good. We didn't have a bunch of blurps or issues, and Jonathan did a wonderful job. So I appreciate each and every one of you for being on here. So sending you love, lots of love. And Jonathan, do you want to pop on to say anything? Look, he quiet, y'all. He's like, no, I don't know if I want to do that one. So I appreciate you. Look, click like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you have not hit the notification bell, hit the notification bell. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm going to put up Kiki's thing so y'all can donate. So, look, Jonathan, let's get our outro. Thank you, Sheena Beckton. Thank you, Patrick Jean. And thank you, producer Dr. J. And to everybody else, look, I'm sending y'all some love. Let's close out with.
It's the Tanya Burns Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vibe. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand down in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step they are renewed. We're no step